Design Debate is all about taking on contested topics in the field of architecture and design. A phenomenal initiative. Design Debate is a multi city event where every month we head to an exciting new city, and we've conducted 24 editions so far and travel across the country. And for our 25th edition, we've traveled to a city that exhales art and royalty through its magnificent structures of century old forts and palaces, the epithet Pink City of Jaipur. So here we are introducing Design Debate's brand new theme, Aesthetics versus Economics in the princely state of Rajasthan's capital city. You'll be hearing a lot more about the theme from everyone present here tonight, so I won't take much of your time. My humble request to you would be that we've got a lot to celebrate here today. Some absolutely brilliant names in the industry will soon be taking the stage. So, welcome to this evening, replete with knowledge sharing, and let us have a huge round of applause for Architects and Interiors India's Design Debate, the Jaipur edition. To begin with, let me call on stage Mr. Indrajit Sauji, Group Publishing Director of ITP Media Group, the person who ideated and created this platform to deliver the opening speech. Please join me to welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, Shiraz. Namaste, Jaipur. Let me try once again. Namaste, Jaipur. That was good. We are just beginning and we need the energy. The Pink City, where tradition dances with modernity and history gracefully mingles with innovation. It's a pleasure and honor to welcome you, each one of you, to this special edition of Design Debate here in the heart of Jaipur. Set against the backdrop of Aravali ranges, where cultural richness and natural beauty converges, we find ourselves in a city that mirrors the vibrancy and diversity and resilience of India. Today, as we gather in this enchanting city, known for its timeless charm and contemporary vibrancy, we embark on a compelling disclosure on a topic that resonates with the very essence of Jaipur, aesthetics versus economics in the realm of architecture. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for joining us today, infusing this venue with your vibrant energy. It's truly overwhelming to see and witness the enthusiasm and the warmth that Jaipur has extended to us. This marks our very first design debate in Jaipur, and the city has literally and overwhelmingly welcomed us and given us a chance to present this amazing design debate in this very town of Jaipur. Uh, Design debate, we started 2 years back as a journey, and this is the 25th city we are covering this in Jaipur as such. The idea behind starting design debate was we wanted to reach out to the B towns where actually the design is happening. And like usually we see when like in our magazines, on our forums, architects from and especially the metro cities like Mumbai, Delhi are there. But yes, as a magazine, it was a collective decision to reach out to B towns, to reach out to where the talent is, and bring that talent onto the national forum. And that's where design debate culminated, and that's where we are reaching out to each and every B town we can. So even after this, we have 24 more cities that we have planned in the next year. A special thanks to our guest of honor, Shri Ashish Kaliji, despite like his busy schedule and like though he is not keeping well, he's here today with us. A round of applause for him. A round of applause also goes out to all of you for being here and for making this event possible. Your presence adds a layer of significance to our discussion on architecture, a field that not just about building, but about shaping the very fabric of the city and societies. So for each one of you guys, the past few years have been really challenging, especially for the design and construction industry. The pandemic has brought about a paradigm shift in how we work and how we conduct our businesses. However, before we dive deep into these changes, let me pose a question to all of you. Do we truly consider architecture as a business? Yes, no? Many of our esteemed colleagues are still hesitant to call architecture as a business or to see it through a lens of business. It's a sentiment echoed by many architects who often express that their education did not adequately prepare them for the business aspect of architecture, or business aspect of profession rather. As an emerging profession, understanding the economics behind a project is crucial. It only enhances time management, but it also enhances time management and increases the likelihood of a project being successful and profitable at the same time. The business of architecture can be broadly classified into two facets, and like economics and art or aesthetics, which is the most important part. Success in this field demands efficient management of both. Any faltering in either domain can lead to undesirable circumstances or like undesirable outcomes for sure. And in a profession where the impact is not just immediate, but resonate through generations, the responsibility on our shoulder is immense. As designers, you hold a position to shape the future, to influence the skyline of our cities. In a country like India, where a significant portion of the built environment is still unbuilt, and the architect currently cater to only a very small percentage of the population, the scope of growth is immense. As we aim to cross economic milestone and envision a golden era, the opportunities for architects have never been more promising. Today's design debate brings together experts in the field who will shed light on these crucial points and discuss the immediate and long-term challenges facing architects. We have a privilege of engaging with these leading design experts to learn from their expertise, experience, and insights, guiding us on how to navigate through these challenging times and how to have a delicate balance between economics and aesthetics. So let's hear it from our esteemed panelists as we delve into the heart of this matter. A big thank you to all our sponsors for believing in us and supporting us and bringing this event to this vibrant city of Jaipur, where history meets innovation and tradition meets the future. I express my gratitude to our presenting partner, Howell, for their unwavering support. Thanks, Puneet ji. Thanks, Ayush ji, for all your help. You have been a great support always. A special thanks goes to Dorma Kaba and Jindal Panthera, present our category partner, Bureau or exhibit partner. Thanks, Karan. You have always, I can't see Karan. Yes. You have always been a great support and an inspiration and a guiding force. Blue Star, our HVAC partner. They all have really toiled hard to prepare some proof of concepts for you. I mean, it's just behind the corner. Whenever you have time, please do visit and have a look. And a round of applause for their efforts, please. I mean, like they have really toiled. I mean, like, before I pass on the torch to Shiraz, let's watch a short video on what exactly ITP is and what we do. Can I have the ITP EV? Thank you. Thank you once again for the warmth, enthusiasm, and support you have extended to us. Uh, and let me take this opportunity to apologize to people who we were not able to accommodate in the hall, and we had to close the registrations because the hall is full to its capacity. But we have taken the event online, and I'm told that a lot of people have joined us online and they are watching us live. So good evening to the audience who is watching us live. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your evening as we embark on this enlightening journey into the world of architecture where aesthetics and economics dance in harmony. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for that heartwarming address. Design Debate and our partnering brands have always expressed immense gratitude for the support and participation of our phenomenal speakers, curator, and our esteemed guests. And to share the joy, I would like to invite Mr. Atul Ravi, Director Business Development from Howell India, to please come on stage and share a welcome note. Can we please have Mr. Atul Ravi on stage?
Hello. Okay. Good evening, all. We welcome you on behalf of Howell to this esteemed event at Jaipur. Thank you for coming on the Friday evening and deferring your plans of Friday evening. We are really thrilled to have you here at this event and seeing the house full here. My heart gladdens to see so much people on this event. And I really appreciate and we thank you all and we mean it from the bottom of our hearts. Well, the idea of such conferences and debates primarily stems from the fact that we as an industry fraternity and industry people in this segment would like to have a meaningful dialogue and meaningful discussions and discuss the current and future trends of the industry. While we are busy in our own schedules and day-to-day work, we don't get time to understand what is happening in the market and who is leading the light in the industry and how the technologies and the design aspects of the projects are changing. So it's very imperative to have such evenings where we can have a chat, casual chat around the projects and what is going in the country and the world itself. uh, Architects, as you know, are the backbone of the projects, and architects with their keen sense of imagination and sound engineering and great sense of aesthetics are designing the projects, and they really develop the project from the scratch, and other participants and service providers really build on that plan and deliver something which ultimately is realized in brick and mortar. Having said that, architects generally guides the whole project, all the participants, all the stakeholders from the client and the vendors, and they chart out a plan for the project, which sometimes the service providers might feel and say that they may own some piece of their project, but ultimately they are translating the vision of the architect on ground. Uh, Little bit about Howell India. Howell is a low voltage system integration company. We are present in India for last 20 years. we are present in the most of the verticals of the industry, right from manufacturing to hospitality to commercial, office fit outs, hotels, and government as well, and large infra like airports. Having said that, we have a great, passionate team on ground which is there to take care of the customers across the country in various cities with our service support centers and the back end teams which are handling these teams on ground to deliver the projects for the customers. So we as a team are geared up to handle any kind of project of size and nature to deliver it in a proper meeting all the specifications and all the deliverables to the hilt. So apart from that, we also provide design support services to all the stakeholders of the projects, right from architects to consultants. So where we can share with them what is the latest in the market and how do we go about the projects which are futuristic and sustainable for a period of say around 10, 15, 20 years. Having said that, I would, you know, the evening, the plan of the evening is such there are presentations and there are panel discussions happening. I would urge and request each one of you to engage with the fellow participants and understand their mind share and see what we can benefit from each other. The idea is not only to have casual chats, but to see how we can forge alliances and collaborate for future projects as well with you. So, uh, without much ado, I would again thank you and welcome you all to this evening. And I wish you success for the new year. Please enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And moving on, Architects and Interiors India's design debate has always been very grateful to partner with one of the most trusted and reputed brands in the field of architecture and interior design. And having said that, I present to you all our title partner for the Jaipur edition, Hovel India. Can we please have the AV?
Every time you and your loved ones check in any hotel chains in India, we ensure they feel safe, secure, comfortable, and empowered by technology. We're not just wires and devices. We're the feeling of security, knowing your room is an unbreachable fortress. We're the comfort of a temperature that melts away stress, the peace of knowing your loved ones are just a voice call away, even when continents apart. We are Howl India, India's one of the most trusted system integration companies operating in 29 states with 6 dedicated support centers covering 196 plus cities and delivered 100 plus hotels. Howl is market leader in commercial building with respect to low voltage solutions, be it protecting your loved ones' assets or for that matter offering them seamless connectivity on internet or a visual experience.
Our solutions are designed to enhance the guest experience by providing state-of-the-art technology, safer and connected environment.
With our 2 decades in ELV system designing and implementation and offering 23 vertical solutions with 2.5 lakh plus products, Howl delivered 2,600 plus projects and a proven record of 0 failure rate in deployed solutions.
We understand that every hotel is unique and we strive to offer effective solution to cater to their specific needs.
With industry-leading OEM tie-ups and complete adherence to compliances, operating on both CapEx and OpEx models, ensuring that you get what is required.
We at Hovel can help you right from the inception to the handing over and aftermarket services in any part of the country of any nature and size of the project.
Howl has been trusted by who is who of India corporates. Join us on this journey of innovation and excellence as we are constantly adapting to meet tomorrow's challenges. We are Howl India.
Thank you to the team of Howell for that amazing AV. I would now like to invite Mr. Puneet Mehta, Director Sales from Hovel India, to kindly come on stage and present further about this remarkable brand.
Good evening, all. A warm welcome to all of you for this design debate event, Jaipur edition. So I'll be taking you through Hovel India, what all we do and how we do it. So Hovel Protection System India Private Limited, that's part of Hovel Group of companies, which is into different spheres of business. So I represent Hovel Protection Systems India Private Limited, which is into field of safety, security, in fact, complete low voltage security solutions. So these are some other companies like SPD, TNDC, Jiffy Comfort, which are part of Hovel Group, which operate in India from that perspective. So what we do, we help businesses and people to safeguard their premises and optimize their resources and increase their efficiency. It's almost 20th year for us in India. We have been operating on, and we are present across India, covering almost 196 plus cities. Sorry, yeah. So we are operating in 23 plus solution verticals, including hospitality, commercial space, some nuclear sites, delivering almost 2,600 plus projects in India till now. So we have almost 6 plus support centers in India to cater to our clients. We have done some nuclear sites and almost 100 plus support staff on ground to cater to all our clients. Our USPs, what all we do differently, on team for design, execution, and installation, one window for all the products and services. We have almost 2.5 lakh products in our kitty, catering to different kind of solutions. Proven track record for timely delivery, reliability and dependability, strong process engine with ERP, to cater to our all clients, and at the end of it, a very competitive price for all our clients. Our goal actually is to create a wow factor for each every client, for all the products and services which are providing to our customers. Key differentiators, strong know-how of technology, proven track record, value for money, which is important for all the clients. We also design solution without any obligation, extended warranty up to 10 years for all our clients. Technologically advanced solutions, continuous technology adaptation with the increasing competitive world, business commitment for all our clients, different product range, flexible business model catering to different client needs. So what all services we do, which includes installation services, on-site support, AMCs, comprehensive, non-comprehensive AMCs, on-call solutions, designing of the solutions, and specialized programs, which includes trainings or some other customized things for our clients. Our product portfolio, which includes everything which we do in a low voltage. So anything that runs on 12 or 24 volt, we do it. Starting from security, data voice, networking, wireless solutions, business automation, fire and safety products, audio video systems, and customized solutions. So what all we have in security portfolio, that includes CCTV, so all the latest security solutions, access control systems, intrusion alarm systems, and perimeter protection, along with entrance protection, that includes your boom barriers, bollards, high security areas, high security critical access control solutions, guard management system. That is part of our complete security portfolio, which we all we do. In our fire and safety portfolio, we do fire alarm, fire doors, fire gas suppression systems, fire extinguishers, everything from the related to fire equipments. IT infra, we do everything in IT, which includes your passive networking, active solutions, switching, and wireless solutions, EPBX solutions, which are both IP as well as analog and hybrid solutions, and wireless links, which includes long-range Wi-Fi solutions as well. Our AV system portfolio includes boardroom designing, lighting automation in the boardrooms, background music, designing experience centers for our clients, EVAC system, industrial PA system. In automation portfolio, we do building management, lighting management, parking management. So if you see, we cover almost everything from the automation perspective and the low voltage perspective in any commercial building. This is our customized portfolio where we do design customized hardware and software for any particular needs of our clients. These are some of our technology partners for different solutions. So we have almost every brand in India which we cover. CCTV, we are partner to Honeywell, Pelco, Bosch, Axis, Sony. So almost every brand which is available in India and which is used for different kind of buildings, depending on the client needs. Every building has a different kind of requirement from their requirement perspective. For access control, we are partner to Honeywell, Bosch, HID. And we do physical entrance automation, which includes boom barriers, bollards. We are partner to Ganebo, Smiths, FAC, almost every brand which is available in India. In networking, we are partner to, So these are some of the other brands which we do for fire-related products. So in networking, we are partner to Comscope, we are partner to Legrand, we are partner to Molex, we are partner to Simon. In active, we do Cisco, Aruba, Ruckus. So almost every brand which is there. In PBX, we are partner to NEC, Alcatel, Siemens, and Mitel as well, which are, the major brands available in India for PABX. And for Wi-Fi also, we are partner to Cisco, Ruckus, Aruba, the major brands which are available in India. Some of the other brands which we do for automation perspective. Some of our clients, which till now we have handled in India, which we have catered to, which includes all spheres of business, commercial, industrial, hospitality, almost every kind of clients we have. This is our guiding principle. Customer is the most important on our premises. Customer is most important visitor on our premises. And that's what we value, that he's not dependent on us. We are dependent on our clients. And our only goal is to create a wow factor for our clients. So that's all about Howell. And we'll definitely engage in the time to just connect and see what all we can do together. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a very impressive presentation. And dwelling further into the evening, we would now like to acknowledge our yet another phenomenal partnering brand, Dorma Kaba. Can we please have the AV?
Barrier-free access solutions from Dormakaba. A barrier-free world for everyone. Coping with everyday life isn't always easy, especially if barriers are placed in our way. We mean that literally. Many people experience that almost on a daily basis. For children, seniors, people with physical limitations, doors are often the enemy. Getting through them often requires a lot of time, energy, and effort. Barrier-free design is essential for a person's independence and freedom, and now also legally required. With our products and solutions, we want to create an environment that is friendly, livable, and accessible for everyone, whether in public buildings or in hospitals, in hotels, in offices, in your own four walls. A barrier-free world for everyone.
Thank you, Team Dorma, for that amazing AV. I'd now like to invite Mr. Hanish Arora, Architectural Specifications, to kindly come on stage and present further about the thoughtful and incredible services by Dorma. Can you please have you on stage, sir?
So, hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Hanish, and I'm from Dorma Kaba. Along with me, I have my teammates, my colleagues, uh, Mr. Anuj, Mr. Harjeet, and Mr. Saket. Mr. Saket is also our zonal head, so he has been traveling to Delhi. And along with us, we are having our channel partner, Messrs. Applicators, Mr. Vishal and Divyansh, and we all form a strong team of Rajasthan as such. We are very excited to be here. We are thrilled to be part of Design Debate Jaipur edition. And I've been told that I have 10 minutes to deliver the presentation. So I'll be very brief about the presentation. Starting with the purpose. So starting with the purpose, Dorma Kaba is a purpose-driven organization. And the purpose is that every place that matters. So every place that matters to the society, to the community as a whole, we want to be present at every place which is important, which is relevant to the society. So be it airports, healthcare, offices, hospitality, hotels, education, whether it is schools or universities where we learn and go and learn. So whether it is public places like retail, we are present there. We are present in all the government administration offices, transport and logistics, whether it is airports, whether it is railway stations. So in the form of flap barriers or automatic sliding door gates, we are present there. Dorma Kaba is one of the most trusted brands when it comes to security and access control solutions. And Dorma Kaba has a legacy of more than 160 years and available in more than 130 countries across the globe. We are more than 16,000 employees worldwide. And Dorma Kaba has been the first mover in many, many products and solutions when it comes to security and access. And recently, Dorma Kaba has invested more than 100 million in innovations and research when it comes to security and access. And in 2021-22, our net sales was 2.8 billion. So that makes Dorma Kaba as one of the leading brands when it comes to door hardware and access solutions. We have a rich heritage and we have a legacy of more than 100 years. So Dorma and Kaba is formed with a merger of both the companies. Dorma is as such a German brand and Kaba is a Swiss brand. So both the companies started its operations in 1908. No, Dorma started its operations in 1908 and Kaba started its operations in 1862. And in 2015, both the companies merged their strengths and a joint brand was formed in the name of Dorma Kaba. So now this is a single brand, which is Dorma Kaba. So let us see a small video about what Dorma Kaba is, who we are, and what we do.
Every day, thousands of people trust us. When they go to work or head off to their vacation, we are there when you say farewell to your loved ones or when you welcome new life into your family. For over 150 years, two companies, Dorma and Kaba, worked hard to earn your trust. We've combined the strengths and formed Dorma Kaba to become the trusted partner for smart and secure access solutions worldwide. With around 15,000 employees, production sites around the globe, and global partners, With a full-service portfolio covering smart products and solutions around the secure access to buildings and rooms. We drive for thousands of miles. We are on your side from the moment of the first draft to the entire life cycle of the production phase. We remain after the installation and initiation on your side. We never give up, and you can rely on us. With curiosity, courage, and high performance, we attain the best solutions for our employees, customers, partners, and shareholders, and constitute trusted partnerships. To make you feel at home, even in public spaces, every day around the world.
This is a Market India overview. From India, our headquarters is in Chennai, and we are having our zonal offices across India. From Market India, we are catering to entire South Asian market of Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. Dormakaba, as a Dormakaba India, we are proud to share our accreditations. So whether it is quality management systems, that is ISO 9001, environmental management systems, ISO 14001, occupational and safety management systems, green building certifications, our product adds to the LEED certification points of the green buildings. To add to this, we have our own NABL certified lab in our own manufacturing facility in Chennai. So NABL certification lab is one of the highest certification any lab can have in India. It is kind of a gold standard for the labs in India. As a Dormakaba, we offer high quality products. So products which are compliance with the international standards. So be it in, European norms, ANSI standards, third-party certifications such as CE certification or CF certification. We are providing all the certification as per the national compliant standards or international standards. So the world today and tomorrow, the trends are changing in the hardware industry. From touch-based solutions, we are moving towards touchless access. From mechanical locking systems, we are moving ahead into electromechanical solutions. From there is a merger happening between access and flow. So there is integrated components and connected components which are happening across the industry. With the mobile access technology, digital key and self check-in technologies have become the mainstream feature at all the hotels around the globe. So that is becoming a new normal. The way ahead is digital. As an innovative leader, we take an active role in the digitalization of our industry. So, for example, EntryWorks Planner software is a software for the architects and the interior designers, which we are providing them free of cost. This is an intelligent planning platform for the architects to manage the door control list. The next aspect of innovative product is Aegis Air, which is a sensor barriers for touchless passage and secure entrance. And our products are all approved in Airport Authority of India and used internationally. ST Pro Green, this is the energy saving automatic sliding door with thermally separated profile systems. Building with a conscious, sustainability is a key differentiator for us. So we are contributing to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There are 9 SDGs which are most aligned to our sustainable strategy. So whether it is a good health and well-being of a society, quality education for the poor, gender equality, climate action, responsible consumption and protection, and other sustainable development goals, we are contributing our funds to the United Nations. People put their trust on us, and we have some iconic references around the globe. in India, we are proud to share our products have been used in across the locations like Amazon Development Center, multiple locations across India. We have used our sliding folding partitions, revolving doors, door hardwares in Tata Consultancy Services, which is based in Pune, Noida, Hyderabad, Bangalore. And we have been using our automatic sliding doors, revolving doors, door hardware. Google Pan India, product clusters like automatic sliding doors and movable walls and lodging systems. Carelon Healthcare in Hyderabad, Delhi, and Bangalore. This is to say the few. We have some iconic references which are international. We are proud to share that our products are used in World Trade Center, USA. Our products are used in Hedges Avenue Residence, Gold Coast, Australia, Galaxy Soho office in China, Square Business Center, Frankfurt, Germany. So products are a lot, projects are a lot. So these references highlight the quality and the flexibility our product solutions offer. The other aspect of Dormakaba is our e-gates. Our e-gates are all approved with the Airport Authority of India and are already been functioning very well in Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore international airports. So in Delhi airport, we have used our 6 e-gates, which are all functioning. Mumbai airport, 88 e-gates. Bangalore airports, 107 e-gates at the terminal entry, pre-security hold areas, and boarding gate areas. And to add to this, our products are also being used in all the Adani airports. So Jaipur airport have used our products, which are self-boarding gates, Lucknow airport, Guwahati airport, Trivandrum airport, Mangalore airport, Ahmedabad airport. These are few of the airports which I can mention. Dormakaba as a brand is one of the renowned brands when it comes to lodging systems. So our brands are all approved with all the major hospitality chains. So be it Courtyard by Marriott, DoubleTree by Marriott, DoubleTree by Hilton, Hilton Properties, Intercontinental Hotel Groups, Marriott Properties, Marina Bay, Crown Plaza, Taj. So our products, our lodging systems are all approved in all the major hospitality chains. Last but not the least, a wonderful product for the interior designers and the architects, which is a automatic vertical retractable wall. So the benefit of this product is it offers you the flexibility for multifunctional design layout. Maximum size is unlimited. We can go up to a height of 11 meters in this. Cost optimization through energy conservation. Custom solutions, rooms can be effortlessly partitioned, made smaller or larger, or repositioned to suit the requirements. Systems are available in which are fully automatic. So let us see a small video of this product. So, that was a brief overview of the Domakaba products. Thank you for your time and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arora, for that interesting presentation. Design Debate has always strived to bring together the finest of talent and experts of the industry to share their views and thoughts. And one such personality with us here tonight is our talented guest of honor. An accomplished architect, he is the founder of the esteemed architectural consultancy firm Kala and Associates, headquartered in Jaipur. He served as an executive member of the Indian Institute of Architects Rajasthan chapter for 2 consecutive sessions from 2001 to 2004. Spanning 23 years, he has been dedicatedly providing consultancy services encompassing civil interior and landscape design for projects of diverse scales. These encompasses a wide spectrum ranging from opulent residences and corporate offices to commercial spaces, apartments, hospitals, and industrial structures. His approach to architecture is marked by a profound philosophy. He perceives himself as a perpetual student, consistently seeking to broaden his understanding and insights. His design philosophy revolves around harmonizing modernism with the intrinsic aspects of location and climate. Notably, his designs echo an integration of architectural heritage and sustainability principles, showcasing a holistic approach that resonates with both contemporary ideas and timeless values. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause in welcoming our guest of honor for tonight, the chairman of Institute of Indian Interior Designers and the founder of Kala and Associates, architect Ashish Kala. Sir, can we please have you on stage?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I have a sore throat, just bear with my voice. I'm deeply honored to be here today as your guest of honor. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Architect and Interiors India, ITP Media India, for inviting me to share on this special occasion. It is a privilege and a pleasure to stand before you on this memorable day. First and foremost, I want to extend my thanks to all of you. I must also acknowledge the incredible team behind this event who have worked tirelessly to make today a reality. Your dedication and hard work have not gone unnoticed. In my role as a guest of honor, I am reminded of the importance of design community coming together to debate on such a sensitive topic of aesthetics versus economy, and I feel truly humbled to be a part of this moment. Jaipur architecture and design industry has been seen a continuous growth with a balance between preserving heritage and embracing contemporary trends. Notable developments includes the integration of sustainable practices in construction, the use of technology for innovative designs, and collaborative efforts to promote the local artisans. Additionally, the city has witnessed an increase in the architecture events and exhibitions, fostering a dynamic environment for creative professionals. As a chairman, Triple ID JRC, I would like to bring your notice that one of the vision of Triple ID JRC is an improvising education and had a lot of events engaging students, and there are a lot of programs lined up for members and students of institutes who are affiliated to us in this tenure. We have already organized 2 sessions of Genesis to Revolution where our own architects couple, Gaurav Megha and Akshat and Asta, share their journey of projects, technical sessions on plumbing and etc. for the students. Now in the month of Feb, we are organizing the most awaited fifth season of Sports Carnival 2024 for members and their families. We have also launched first edition of Young Designers Festival 2024, which we are organizing the month of April from 12th to 13th, wherein the students of architecture and interiors and young practicing designers will participate in design competitions. There will be on-the-spot competitions, technical sessions, workshops, material exhibition and culturals, and so on and so forth. In conclusion, I want to express my gratitude once more for this incredible honor. It's a privilege to stand before you and share in this celebration. Let's continue to work together, support one another, and strive for a better future. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I look forward to the rest of our time together. Thank you.
Sir, I request you to please stay back on stage. Thank you so much, sir, for making it to the event and addressing our gathering. I would now like to invite Mr. Saeed Ishtiaq, General Manager from Howell India, and Mr. Indrajit Sauji, Group Publishing Director from ITP Media Group, to kindly come on stage and felicitate our dear guest of honor. And as we move ahead, it's now time to have a look at one of the most renowned names in the HVAC segment, Blue Star. Can we please have the AV?
Customers from across India and the world have been leaning on us for over 75 years. Blue Star, built on trust.
Thank you to the team of Blue Star for that AV. I would now like to invite Mr. Manjunath Subramani, Area Manager, Rajasthan Operations for Commercial Air Conditioners, to kindly come on stage and present further about the efficient range of Blue Star India.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome once again on behalf of Blue Star. Myself, Manjunathan, I'll be taking care of commercial air conditioning operation for Jaipur operations for ducted, VRF, and chiller for 3 products. Today, we are here to present our product for VRF Lite. What is VRF Lite? Actually, in that current scenario, in the residential segment, if you want to buy any air conditioners, there are 2 options. Either they can go for a individual split ACs, like 3-star and 5-star rated. And the second option is the VRV or VRF systems. But we have developed a product in between split AC and that VRV, so that it is comfortable between that prices little bit higher than the split ACs and lesser than the VRV system. That is called VRV Lite. And we launched this product in the last year. And the price for the machines will be almost 25,000 to 30,000 rupees per HP cost. If you talk about normal split ACs, the cost per ton is some 20 to 25,000 rupees.
And if you look at VRV, the cost will be almost from 40 to 45,000 rupees per HP. So that this is a very comfortable in between split AC and the VRV system, so that affordable for both cases. And this is completely designed and developed by your Blue Star indigenously. This is a product view of this one, our Odo. This is a very sleek design and aesthetically made very good for the look also. And second thing, these are ideal choices for these machines will be for villas, residences, resort, office cabin, and the residential tower everywhere. And the second, and the main advantage of this product is this machines will come with a single phase. Single, because most of the places will not get a three-phase power in the building or any small offices or a residential area. So that this machine will be suitable for single phase machines. In that, we have three models. We have 4 HP, 5 HP, and 6 HP. And you will get a other benefit will be cooling and heating. Both options are available with the machines. You'll see that the product innovation. See, same like VRV, we are using the same inverter compressor in this same VR light also. And very sleek and aesthetically very good design for the residential purpose. And these machines will work up to 56 degree. As Indian company, because if you take a lot of split ACs, it will not work beyond some 48, 49 degree. So that as an Indian, we develop the product, it will work up to 56 without any tripping. And it's very quiet operation machines. We have cooling and heat pump, both options are available with these machines. That the voltage range is very low, very high for these machines. It will work between 220 to 240 voltage. And we have 4 different range of indoor units for this outdoor. We can connect with the high wall, cassettes, ductable, and one-way cassette and compact cassettes. Both are available in this. You have a lot of options for controllers. We'll go through the next slide. This is a very superior interior design, have the higher fall ceiling height, because our indoor machines will come with some 200 or 220 mm height, so that easily it will fit in that any kind of fall ceiling in that machines. If you look at the both the pictures, first one is the regular systems. If you are going for some 2 BHK or 3 BHK, you will have some 4 to 5 outdoor machines in the outside. Apart from that, you will have an individual connection piping between indoor to outdoor unit. If you look at the VRF light, each floor will have only machines, one single machines. It will be catered for some 3 to 4 BHK apartments. And the controllers, we have a lot of variety in the controllers. Actually, we have wired remote, we have central controller remote through PC monitoring, and we have group controller. This group controller will control close to 16 indoor machines, and we have cordless remote also, and we have BMS facility. Because if you are going for any IT or this one operations, you can connect this BMS through Modbus or backnet operations. And we have a data concentrator where you want a central controller plus BMS, both the things to be connected. You have to put a data concentrator. And other advantage with Blue Star is we have a tenant billing software. If there is a common outdoor unit connected with the multiple of tenants, okay, with that based on the actual usage, that machine will generate a electricity bill for the every month for each and every individual as per the actual usage. And we have key card controller, and we have a mobile app. Through mobile also you can control the ACs actually. And apart from that, we have a Wi-Fi based central controller. So that we have a lot of varieties for the controller based on the application, based on the building, you can use the controller. And the power savings, compared to normal split ACs, it will save up to 25% of power savings with the VRF light. And it's a very quieter operations. During night time, if you select the quieter operations, based on the, because night automatically the ambient of the outside is going low, so that every 1 hour that the temperature will increase by 1 degree or 0.5 degree, so that outdoor noises will come down. This product basically for high residential apartments, and second thing for offices, for retail things, for hotel and restaurant, and bungalows. It is suitable for all kind of applications. This is a major thing. We have plotted ISR value for the 6 HP VRF and the 5-star split ACs. if you look at it, 25, 50, 75, and 100%, ISR value for the VRF light will be higher than the 5-star machines. So that if you look at the operating load, at 25% load, you'll be saving 20% of the energy. And if you go for 50% of load, it will be saving 23% of the energy. And at 70%, you'll be saving 13% of the energy. And if it is running in 100%, you'll see 1.2% of the energy savings compared to the 5-star split ACs. So that it's very comfortable between 5-star and that VRV. Price also will be suitable for you. Any questions? And we have stall right over the corner. If you want any suggestions, you can visit our stall. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manjunath, for that knowledgeable presentation. Following the concept of acknowledging the finest brands in the design and architecture segment, we now move on to our next partnering brand, Europly. Can we please have the AV? Thank you to the team of the Europly for a beautiful AV. And before moving ahead, I request the hotel team to kindly set up the stage for our next segment. Thank you for the patience. And now we move on to the most awaited part of the evening, our panel discussions. Kicking off, we begin with the dynamic next gen architects, the one who will dictate the architecture of tomorrow. And to begin with, I would like to first introduce our moderator for the next gen panel discussion. A visionary design thinker, he is known for his commitment to environmental sustainability, craft centric design. He is also a UNESCO Seal of Excellence winning designer. With a versatile portfolio extending from objects to spaces, his work has earned global recognition and publications in top design magazines. Honors include the prestigious Lexus Design Award, AD Top 100, and Edida Indian Designer of the Year. His diverse portfolio also includes crafting the iconic Handmake in Rajasthan logo, large scale projects like the Mudra Wall installation, VIP lounges at Terminal 3 Delhi International Airport, to transformative hospitality projects like Narendra Bhavan in Bikaner and Shimavina Naturopathy in Bangalore. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a huge round of applause the moderator for the Next Gen panel and the co-founder and creative director of AKFD and Anantaya, the very talented Ayush Kasliwal. Okay, now I hand over the forum to you, and you can invite the rest of the panelists and kick off the debate. Thank you, Ayush.
Thank you and welcome everyone and to all the sponsors, the organizers, and obviously all the colleagues out here. Thank you very much for being here. I know Friday evening we have lots of things and lots of ideas of places to go, but you chose to come here and be part of this evening and part of this conversation. So I'll get on very quickly. I know we've all been eager to move on. I'll keep it easy. We're going to have a conversation and you're going to be part of it. I'd like to call Ashok, Ravi, Nikhil, and Mukesh onto the dais. Please join me. They are our panelists. And I would probably take a slightly different route and ask them to introduce themselves with a slight twist. So we will start off by introducing by ourselves, our name, our firm, our favorite building and why, and something that you always do in your work, your practice, or when you interact with clients. So we can start with Ashok, Ravi, Nikhil, and Mukesh.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. This is Ashok. This is Ashok Kumar Jangir, practicing architecture and interiors with Sujit Singh Nagpal in the name of Ashoka Design Studio here in Jaipur. So we don't have such specific design style or something which we celebrate actually on individually. If I talk about our own practice, we are just like going flow with the client and doing whatever is coming on our way. Yeah, I love Jawar Kala Kendra basically, the way it has been designed and crafted in terms of art and architecture, especially the architectural spaces and interior spaces. Thank you.
My name is Ravi Prakash and my firm's name is Ravi Prakash Architect. My favorite building will be the Salk institute by Louis Icahn. Reason being, the whole building is planned around to, to make a vista and to make a platform for the sunset, because the site is facing toward a sea and it is facing towards the west. So there is a if there is even a water channel that is running around in the center, and you sit at a particular spot, the whole building's view and even the water channel directly meets to the sun, setting sun. Few more things that I like to do in my projects and with my clients. With my clients specifically, I try to ask a lot of questions, because the lot of questions will return in the lot of answers and lot of clarity in the projects. Eventually, that will turn into a easy overall workflow. The next thing I like to do in my projects is I to like wherever it is possible, I like to have a puncture which is in form of the courtyard in the building, and a spiral staircase wherever it is possible, and probably having indirect sunlight in the house in variable possible ways.
Hello, myself Nikhil Agarwal. I have a firm called Design Atelier, and we are practicing from last almost 11, 12 years now. And so my style of working is like very not fixed. I don't follow a design form, or I don't follow something which is like a single style of working. I always, try, discussing client on the requirements, what is exactly they are looking at, and then I always understand what exactly the requirements are, what aesthetics they are looking at, and then I mold myself and design accordingly. That is how my whole practice is majorly. I don't have a one single certain favorite style or building. I think it's like it changes with time, it changes with experience and everything. But I like certain elements of every building, which is like if I see works of Korea, so I like Jawahar Kala Kendra as well. I like when I see Corbusier building, so then I like Secretariat, like how then the three buildings being done. So I am inspired by a lot of things. So I am not a favorite person like that.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. So first of all, thank you very much for ITP Media that they have given us the opportunity to represent over here. I'm Mukesh Vasist from Howell Protection, and we are one of the good system integrators based out of Delhi. However, our presence is in all India, and we are doing all India projects. So we are majorly for low voltage solutions. So we are giving every services which includes low voltage up to 24 volts. It includes your fire, your security, your physical security, automations, networking, data collections kind of things. So we are giving such kind of, services. Thank you.
You still have to tell us your favorite building.
Uh, See, for us, wherever we get the opportunity to work is the favorite building for us.
All the buildings, all your clients' buildings.
So actually, in buildings, what we see that what is the budget of the building. So if the budget is the good, that will be the favorite for us.
Expensive buildings. I'll take this opportunity to talk about my favorite building also, is the Jantar Mantar. It's a building that can be absolutely pointless and yet so deeply moving and challenging the human condition that it makes one think. It questions the idea of the building itself and why we build. And do we build for ourselves or for a greater, higher being? So that to me is one of my favorite buildings. So now I think we still need to have some more fun. And I would like for a second for all of us to think of our practices as a little circus. And within the circus, what do you look at yourself as? Are you the tiger that roars? Are you the ringmaster, the joker, the thin acrobat flying in the sky? Or are you that cannonball that wants to get shot out of that cannon and go away somewhere? So I will ask this question to Ashok.
Well, I think you well said. Actually, we are part of circus when we talk about architecture and design, interiors as well. So everybody is doing, the circus. Somebody is doing in some, street. Somebody is doing at, let's say, Amrudo Kebab, and somebody is doing at SMS or some Dashera Maidan sort of way. So I think everybody is gonna have, their own perception on it. And my experience is we are kind of, my practice is basically sort of playing a lion role, because I feel client is the one who is going to be the ringmaster, and the one who is doing, play around, you can say, there are so many people which we can relate. Koi chota hai, koi bada hai, they sometimes they laugh, sometimes they make us cry. So these are the people, they are basically the contractors. And
So you make them cry or they make you cry?
they make us
They make you
They
cry.
make us, no, they make us basically. The circle master also cry at the same time. So basically it is like that. And why I am considering, our practice as lion, because, circle master has a control on us. At the same time, circle master knows the limitations. He knows how to play and, how long they are going to play. But at some point, he knows somewhere, we are at risk if we play wrong with them. So we also have that, freedom to, roll at a moment wherever we feel like.
Great. Nikhil, what about you? And what about you yourself within your office? Like, who are you within your office if your office is a circus?
So, I just remember one thing that is, there is an artist called Manjeet Bawa. I don't know how many know about him. He's a very renowned artist. So he has worked in circus his entire life, and so I think the life is like that, so he has worked in circus and he has given the paintings in a very lesser price when he's working there. And then, when he just, now what he is now as artist, his paintings are worth like different kind of crores. So basically, I think life is like that only. Like you start in a very smaller way, like how circus owner has, taken from you, and now you worth in a different manner. So it is like, you just keep on increasing your worth as an artist, like how you refine yourself. So that is what all we are doing in some sense.
And Ravi, what do you think?
I think I'm more sort of a flexible person, and in yeah, I have to be everything actually, because building a building is not one man's job. There you have a team in the office, you have the contractors, you have the labor, you have the client, you have the client's family who has nothing to do in the project, but eventually they will involved, right? So you have to deal with the situation and you have to be everything according to the given client and given situation. So sometimes you have to play all at once.
Mukesh, I know you're part of a much bigger organization, which is probably also a circus. I know your boss is here, but and
All
you
bosses
will
are here.
you will probably call him the ring master. But what do you think you are in that big office?
See, in particular office, however, to be very frank, we have a culture that we can
Diplomatic.
we can share our inputs and can do
Yeah,
everything very
yeah.
easily. So in office, I definitely don't want to any kind of tag to me. But
yes.
as an organization, I'll give this opportunity to the audience first. That being the system integrators, what do you guys think, that we are the lion or we are the acrobat or what? Then maybe I will give my answer. Maybe can somebody guess for this?
So the
So-
ringmaster is your client, and you are whoever else.
So what I feel that we are the acrobat actually. So we are jumping from here to there. We have to get orders from somebody. We have to jump to get orders from somebody to somebody. Lastly, when we get the orders, then we are running for the project executions. After the project executions, we are running for our payments, timely payments. And after the project, definitely the services. So we are jumping, and I think the Acrobat is the right tag for us.
Very well said. So now coming back to the more why we've been called to be here, this thing about aesthetics versus economics. Now, personally, I do not even think it's a debate. It can be this and that, and does not need to be this versus that. What do you think? Let's start with what's your thought? Is it a debate or is it not a debate?
I do agree with you. It is not a debate because let's compare architecture with the food that we eat, right? If you are having a good food, it has to taste good. Same goes with the building. If you are building a building, it has to look good. So we as an architect, we always have to adapt to the situation, and whatever the given client, whatever the given project, whatever the scale of the project, whatever is the budget of the project, we have to find our own ways to make it look. Otherwise, there's no meaning doing it. So that's what I believe.
I think, basically aesthetics and economics are directly proportional to each other, I think. And
Jitna good,
uh,
ghee,
so I think it's very similarly like how you, how the finances are, how the decisions are, how the, situations are. It is directly proportional to, aesthetics, and it is equally proportional economics. So I think it is not versus. I think it's always has to go hand in hand.
What do you think?
I think there is a domination of, economics, basically, in aesthetic. And if we look at it with your example, so we have, I just gone through one of his product range. There was a jug, Shiva jug. So I went through the details. It was around 1.3 kg or something, and cost was somewhere around 16,000 after discount, I guess. So that was the cost. And at the same time, I compared some other thing because I got curious. Okay, what's there when it's like 1.3 kg and the normal copper cost is somewhere around, it starts from 800 rupees to 1200 rupees per sheet, whatever it is, basically the form or thickness, whatever you want that way. So same way, there was a normal product in the market of the copper jug, and similar weight was like costing somewhere around 3,000. So what was different between both the products? That was also 100% copper. There was also copper, but it has some SS thing, some technical thing they have introduced, which was really interesting and creative. So I found it was not about the, I mean, it was the piece of art. And nowadays, if you look at art, it is not about the skill, basically. I'm not talking about the labor skill. I'm talking about the idea, basically. So that idea was expensive in his product. Otherwise, we have IKEA, and we can have so many cheaper and affordable products, which actually supporting minimalism, which is again the reason of domination. And same way we had earlier brutalism. So I think this aesthetic is all, in hand of economics.
So now coming to you, Mukesh, like Dorma Kaba, I've loved your products. I've used them for more than, I think, right from when you started in the country. And it's always been a challenge to tell the clients that, it is a one-time cost. While it is not about aesthetics per se, your products are beautiful, no doubt about it, but it goes much beyond that. So how would you say that an expensive product is worth it in your area of work?
Uh, yeah, sure. See, whenever we are going to any of the client, so the first question is definitely the solutions versus cost. So client are expecting a good solutions, but the cost should be reasonable. So in the starting, that definitely client is choosing the maybe I'll say the low grade technology because of the cost itself, because economy definitely matters, and in India, because Indian market is price conscious, of course. But yes, as you have mentioned that technology later on pays actually. So I'll give example because I have good experience particular for the surveillance business. So what happens that in surveillance business there are some of the technology which we used in your CCTV and kind of things. People are majorly considering the visible cost actually. The visible cost, like whenever you are going to implement CCTV solutions maybe in your house, what you will ask, hey, what is the cost of the camera, what is the cost of the this DVR or NVR or recorder. But actually the cost of the storage is much higher than the DVR, NVR or the camera. So there are technology. I'll give an example of the technology like H.265 plus. So people who are using the older technology, they are happy in the beginning that we are, taking the cost-effective solutions. But the storage cost, is very high on that part. But the S.265 kind of technology are using half of the bandwidths, half of the storage, and keeping the storage cost at less than half. So in wrong run, definitely, you can save the cost. Secondly, in cases of like fire alarms, so now fire alarms are there, the Wi-Fi solutions are there, but in wired solutions, because nowadays wired solutions are comparatively cost effective than the wireless ones. But later on, definitely, if something is wireless, then it will give you a good aesthetic version. Secondly, definitely the good communication and the better utilization of the resources. So I think it pays later. Yeah.
So, for some things, especially which are like technology or, in that sphere, you can always tell the client about the cost of not using it. So if you have a lock that could potentially malfunction, then the cost of not using a sturdy lock is very high because, somebody will get locked out, when it's really, really cold. But when we talk about aesthetics, it's very difficult to tell the client what is the cost of an ugly building. How do you share that? How do you share the idea with the client that, what is the cost of something not being beautiful or not being done in a way that a designer has imagined? Because, for designers, it's all in the head. It's not even like Vastu, but they can still say, if you do this or if you don't do this, you'll have a heart attack. But we can't say that for a beautiful building. So, what is your sense that, an idea which is critical to the design integrity of a building, if it is not done, what happens? How do you tell a client that something is critical? At times it might be something really silly like, this building has to be symmetrical, or might be that, you need to hide that, your ugly garden hose somewhere, could be as trivial as that. So how do you tell a client or convince a client for something that's critical to the design integrity of a project and comes with a cost?
What I think is like, yes, to build a successful building and make it beautiful, definitely we are the creative person, so we know what is in our head, but our client doesn't know it, right? And it very much depends on the influences that our clients has. So just for an example, and that's where the question came, what part of circus you have to be into the design process. So I will, at that particular moment, I will have to be the ringmaster. so that I can have a very strong impact on my client. So I will have to propose it in such a way that he can't say no, and eventually he will agree. And at the same time, because definitely he will be having his family members, even he will be having his wife. She might be having strong influence, definitely will even over me, but I will have to find some way to find that sport where and let my client know that I am the strongest influencer right now you have, and do what I say. So that kind of influence should be there.
I like the do what I say thing. I think it sometimes does work and sometimes it doesn't. Your projects are, you use very expensive materials. I saw some of your work. So, and it's great, you have the power to convince somebody to use, a 5,000 rupee stone, in a grand way. So, and it's a rare skill, because to convince somebody to do that and do it willingly and happily, and to talk about it is a huge skill. So how do you manage to get your clients to?
I don't know. I think it's majorly. I think it's your convincing powers always. Like how you convince your clients, and how basically you lead a project. That's like very important. Like basically whenever you're designing, as I told you very in the very beginning, whenever I listen to a client, I understand what exactly he wants, what exactly he wants to create, and I always try to create that design integrity accordingly what exactly client is demanding. So I always mold myself in a design process, like how the person exactly wanted, and then I design in that manner, like in overall, like how exactly he wants his house to be, how exactly he wants his space to be, and to gain that confidence in me that you these products or these things will look better when it is put. And if you have to be, if you have to show that you are different, or you have to you if you are different from everyone, and those are the people who are my major clients are. So basically they want the things to be in a very different manner as well. So that is like how those different things which are very expensive as well, because they are rare, that is why they're expensive. So those rare things automatically comes into place because they are rare, and they want those rare things to be put in their projects. Yeah.
You've got a very wide range of projects that you've done, but what I've seen in your projects is that it's a very controlled modulation of money. So have you faced any situations where a client you know बिल्कुल ही सस्ता कर दिया, उसके बाद भी बोला कि और कम में चाहिए? वो होते ना कुछ क्लाइंट्स की, आप वो सर कलम करके भी दे दो, भी बोलते टेढ़ा है. So have you had that sort of experience where you've done something so frugal and yet you've had the client's ire?
I think we all are having such things every day, yes. And as Nikhil sir said, it's a skill basically to convince. And as Ravi said, it's your job basically. If you can't get it done, who else will do? You are the designer. In the end, you are the one who's going to say this is what we are doing, and you'll be selling yourself that way. So these are very practical approach which both said. So I agree with these two.
So on the flip side, have there been situations where a client has asked you to spend more? वो ड्राइंग रूम में बोलते हैं ना, कुछ और दिखाओ, कुछ अच्छा दिखाओ. So have you had that experience, and tell us about it, कि कुछ अच्छा, और कहाँ के लिए बोलते हैं कि अच्छा दिखाओ? They're not going to do that for the servants room, right? But where do they say it, in which situations? It'll be interesting insight to see where people want to spend money. And it's not about the money really to say, but it's the space they want to share, the space they want to be the most beautiful in the house might be the space they want to spend most money, or home or office or wherever. So just one instance from you would be, a good insight.
I have been into such situation one time. Although whenever clients say such things, they never say it directly. कि हमारे और पैसे खर्च करवाओ. They will find some indirect ways to कि Ravi, what much better we can do. And one such example I would like to share. I was doing a flat interior in C scheme. The client was Indian and British sort of person. He was staying out of India, but he was getting done in the project here. And we were having the best quality of Indian marble possible in the market in the bathroom toilet. And once it was done, he said to me कि रवि जी ये तो third class काम कर दिया, कोई अच्छा काम बताओ आप मुझे यहाँ पे. So that was the sort of experience to me. It was really fun.
I think I face this situation otherwise. कम थोड़े कम पैसे लगाओ.
आई थिंक आप लोगों ने बोला आपके पास ऐसे एक्सपीरियंस है, मैंने सुना है, बहुत सुना है, भी जस्ट सुना कि we have client, saying directly, indirectly, but in our practice we haven't witnessed such client. It's for us it's like जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा. So I am like surprised you guys.
किसी दिन ऐसे क्लाइंट आएंगे तो फिर बात करेंगे.
Then I will say my director.
That is to do with clients in the outside world and all that, but there's some projects that we individually are very happy or deeply satisfied with. So for all four of you really, which is your own most memorable project, and what was the per square foot cost of that?
I would say one of my residences, which I did in the outskirts of Jaipur, and it was a residence of 4 bedroom units. Special reason being, I was very confident about my client. We were sort of, having that sort of frequency, like whatever I was trying to say, they were getting it, and they were reflecting very positively onto that aspect. Eventually, the client was a photographer. And as an architecture and photographers share a lot of common things. The most important thing is the light, the use of light, which is very strong aspect of the any given architecture. And another aspect is the frames, like how do you frame a building, like a photograph where your clients are the subject of the photograph. So we find some variable ways of doing so. There was an existing tree in front of the house, so we planned our entrance in such a way that it was directly central access to the entrance. So whenever you go through, an entrance was more like again a frame, more like a portal. So whenever you are exiting or entering the building, that tree is always in your eyes. Then you get to have, like, a photo is basically having different elements that you get from the external words. Eventually we located our windows in such a way that we borrow up some visions from the surroundings. So like there was a temple, so eventually plan our balcony in such a way that when you are sitting on that balcony, you have that facing that temple, and tree is one such examples. And eventually we, like all the elements that I mentioned, there was sunlight. We had once a skylight, and eventually having a sunlight directly right into the center of the puja room. There was a spiral staircase again, which was beautifully done with a metal jali, which is very traditional element of Rajasthan or Jaipur. So these were the few things that I don't have the exact figure, but I would say it was somewhere around, including architecture, interior or landscaping. I would say it was somewhere around 4,000 to 4,500 square feet of per square feet of area.
I think basically, whenever you're designing, so you don't think of as a per square foot cost of something, because it depends on the client's pocket accordingly. Basically.
It's a memorable project for you. Like could be anything that you would consider something that defined you or exemplifies your design vision. Any project.
So basically, I don't think so. So basically, there are a lot of memorable projects, I will say, not one. There are certain residences, there are certain retail showrooms, there are certain, a house which is like a farmhouse, so we have done. So basically, the whole language, whenever like we start designing on anything, it's basically.
You're dodging.
No, I'm not dodging.
So what I'm trying to understand is the relationship between a personal satisfaction for you as a design person and the relationship to the cost that is incurred. Is there a relationship? Is the question. He, a project has to be more expensive or more cost more for you to enjoy it. Like this is an individual personal.
I
question.
think that's not the case anytime. It's just not the cost is not the satisfaction factor. I think it is the design which always is the satisfaction factor. So whatever you're designing, if that persists and that is done according to what you imagine, and that is the outcome which you have thought, and that is the result is similar. So that is the happiness which is always good. So basically, whenever you start a project which can be a very small room even, which can be a small toilet even, it can give you that happiness. It doesn't depend on like how, what a cost incurred is. It's just the happiness of the design outcome, I think.
What do you think?
Yeah, he's completely right. Basically, it's not about the cost. We never, I mean, in our practice, we never thought with the budget, though we asked the client on the very first day, sir, budget kya hai? They are like, बढ़िया हो जाए, that way. So every client says the same. But we never, thought, we ask them just to understand how long we can go, basically, how far we can push ourselves in terms of exploring and doing experiment, how much he can afford this process. That.
And Mukesh, what about your situation? The sense, for you as an individual, not as part of Howell in a bigger company, what kind of works do you have you taken on, or projects you worked on that you personally found most satisfying? And were they big projects, small projects, good client, difficult client, photographer client,
See, however, client is always client, so I will not be able to segregate like hospital clients or hospitality clients or like this. But yes, for us, the people who are understanding the cost of the services are important for us. See, in any of the business or in any of the vertical, majorly because we are the service provider kind of people. So if you compare, there are companies like Flipkart, Myntra. There is some difference between them. There are companies like DHL, Blue Dart, or Patel Services, and there are blah blah services. So what is the difference? They don't have any product. The difference is services. So for us who understand the services cost, definitely we love, because I'm not able to name the clients that what was the good project for us. But yes, the client who understood these aspects and paid good service cost, then definitely he was the good client for us.
Great. So I'd probably segue towards, opening the for questions. So one last question, and probably a different generation, which many of us also are, but the question of, is frugality a compromise? I see it happening with a lot of younger people where they think कि कुछ सस्ते में किया तो compromise के बराबर हुआ. Whereas I think many of us, when we studied, frugality was not a compromise. Frugality was just another way of doing it, and doing it in a different way. And it pushed many of us to to really question and push ourselves. And in that sense, use money as a tool, not for what it can do, but what we can do without it. So do you think frugality is a compromise in today's world, especially because getting the best is expensive, getting the best service is expensive, getting the best and most reliable materials are expensive. So do you think frugality is a compromise? I'll start off with.
I don't particularly believe in this statement. More with more, you can always do more, but the true essence is always in the like with the less, what more you can do, what most you can do. So budget or any economical aspect, or they are never a limitation for a creative person, and they should never be. Just imagine it like this way. It doesn't matter whether you are making a painting or sketch out of pencil, out of acrylic color, or out of watercolor, or out of poster color. What matter is the art itself. So there is no correlation. I don't believe in that.
I don't believe so as well, because we ourselves have put us in an era where we want everything to be done. Then it's expensive. Then it is like, if when we want everything to be done in our houses, when you want everything to be incorporated, that is how the expensiveness have came. If you think now as a village as well, now basically there still has that aesthetic sense still going on at the same time, and they're still enjoying that process, which is very earthy. So it depends on you, like how, in which era you want to put yourself.
I think it is all situational, basically. I mean, considering their views, I think it is in our hand, basically. If we want to justify as a compromise, we can. If we don't want to, then we won't. For example, we did a project and we wanted to have matrix lighting in the facade. And client was genuine. He was very supportive and he was like, "Jaisa aap bolo." But again, he was genuine and he was frankly saying, budget over nahi hai, kam bhi nahi hai, it's all yours. You decide what to do. So we had to, find a hat, and we did some DALI programming and we just got it done. Same way in other projects with the facade, we tried exploring other materials. Wherever we found the client is genuine and he's genuinely, supporting us and, helping make the project better and successful. We ourselves, within us, apne aap we just like get into it and fix the things. We don't compromise in those situations. Whereas if we have a client who's like, nahi, ye to aise hi karna. We have this budget. You have to finish in this budget. Why they are, giving us figure? They can simply say, sir, thoda. That way we can manage. But no, the moment they are like rigid, you have to do in this budget. That moment, we are like, okay, let's do it.
So what you're saying is that when somebody gives you a figure, but when it is your choice, then you do it. That's a very interesting way of putting it, that if somebody's put you in a इतने में ही करना है, तब अपने को लगता है कि compromise act of giving you a canvas.
The other person is tricking him. That's it.
Right.
The other person is tricking him to do lesser.
Yeah. So, for all of those who are planning to hire any of them, don't give them a figure. Just let them do whatever they want, or kabhi zyada, kabhi kam kar dena.
I think we shall ask the figure. They shall not give us the figure. Direct. Even if they are giving us the figure, that should be, genuine.
Right.
It's not like they are hiding. They will hide that. And I have heard a client, he recommended us somebody, and we told them, "Inko jo budget double." So that way, it was done. They were like, "Yeah, he was right. You are actually." So there is this. I mean, there should, genuine things between project jobs with the club.
So one thing that I kind of gather from this conversation is that there's actually no relationship between economics and aesthetics. Things are kind of fluid and they kind of work in between. It's still a gray area, but there's no guarantee putting in more money to get a good project. So I think that is kind of what my understanding is. And with this, I'd like to open the floor to a few questions. Do we have time? Okay, so any few questions?
Thank you. Sir, just I wanted to ask you regarding the burning topic, sustainability and the green economy. So just I wanted to know how much the customer intention is there, the clients, how much they are aware of this green building or the less carbon footprint emissions. And my second question is that, is there any efforts from the architects or how they think that they can inculcate to use green products, whether it's there are a lot of concrete, steel, as well as so many other materials which are green certified. So just I wanted to know about that.
Who would like to take that?
I've explained in a very simple quote. I was watching a documentary or something, and I heard an architect saying is like the most sustainable building is a building that already exists, right? So I think I don't need to explain what does it mean. It means simply means like the most sustainable thing you can do is the resources that are already there, how you can optimize those resources and what best you can be done. So sustainability is always about the using and optimizing the available resources rather than finding new materials or new sources to make it sustainable.
I'll just narrate one small incident that happened with me. There was this couple who wanted a home, and they said, "हमको तो 50,000 square foot का घर चाहिए." I just asked them, "Ki, why do you need such a house? Just two people, big house, dusty, saaf kaun karega?" Obviously I did not get the project, but the moment you start questioning the need of something, um, a lot of things open up. So, often when you talk green design with clients, they say, हाँ, चाहिए है, वो 50,000 square foot के घर में हमको बिल्कुल green air conditioning system चाहिए है. So, it is, I personally don't know which direction it goes, but,
That is how the economics is working, no? So basically, the green building is an economics now, I think. So basically, lead ratings and everything is like how economics is working. So if you work on a vernacular architecture, that is the best way of doing sustainable architecture, I think. So
try selling a mud house. Yeah. To somebody who stays in sea ski. Yeah. Then
you cannot. But at the same time, you can use materials which are here, maybe.
I think in terms of sustainability and green building, it definitely costs. So again, there is this domination of funds. If client is willing to pay, doesn't matter whether you are getting the certification or not, but for their own satisfaction and if they actually want to reduce the carbon footprint, they shall think of it and let not the budget decide whether we are going to go on sustainable side or not.
But that said, I think it is a very critical conversation that we need to have. And it's very easy to fall in the trap of a more efficient something for a 50,000 square foot house. But as designers, I think all of us might want to delve a little deeper and also get more consistent with each other, because sustainability is a very wide. We have all shades of green. So I think for all of us to have a consistent language, a consistent approach, because together we change the world, individually we just fight with each other. So I think that's probably what. हम इतने भी boring नहीं थे यार. More questions? So, yeah, thanks. I'd like to thank the panel for being very engaging, bringing about different aspects of their work. So thank you very much. I learned a lot from this conversation. So thank you very much. And the audience was super patient with us. So thank you very much.
No, thank you so much, Ayush. First, it was very entertaining and not at all boring, but we are just running out of time. But thank you so much. It was very, very engrossing. We all enjoyed a lot. And also, thank you. It was a very interesting Q&A round. Now we move to our felicitation. I request all of y'all to please stay back. I want to invite Mr. Himanshu Mishra, Regional Head Sales from Jindal, and Mr. Karan Ahuja from Duroply to kindly come on stage and felicitate the next gen panelists. I request Mr. Ashok Kumar, the founder of Ashok Design Studio, to kindly come forward. Next, architect Nikhil Agrawal, chief architect, design at area Jaipur. Architect, architect Ravi Prakash, please come forward from Ravi Prakash Architect. That is Mr. Rahul Jha from Bureau of Life. Okay, I request Mr. Mukesh Ashit, the country leader from Hogan India, to please come forward. And last but not the least, please I request everyone to stay back with their certificates. I want to invite our curator, Ayush Sastiwal, to please come forward. Guys, can we please have a huge round of applause for our panelists? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as we are moving ahead, introducing one after the other our remarkable partners for this edition, I would now like you all to see the magnificent Jindal Steel and Power. Can we please have the AV? Thank you for the impressive AV to the team of Jindal. I would now like to invite Mr. Sarvesh Kumar, Product Application Group, to kindly come on stage and further present about the extravagant services of Jindal Steel and Power. Thank you.
So much. Yeah. Very good evening. Thanks for this wonderful evening and this insightful session. I know we are falling short of time, so I'll be try to be as quick as Panther. So I will start with my presentation. There is a small video how we manufacture our steel products. A small video which will showcase the USP of our brand. So we also try to go economical because the agenda of this evening is the aesthetic versus economics. So I will try to make you understand how our product is economical for the customer because India is a economical driven market. So here you can see we have a strong network. We have 4,000 dealers and we have a team more than 50, 70 and we try to cater the market pan-India. And we have our entire team over here. We are situated, our regional office is in Jaipur and being led by Mr. Himanshu Misra. And our distributor, Jaipur Steel, is here, also present with us. So thanks for coming. We have also tried to inculcate Atmanirbhar Bharat because we have participated in so many repeated projects like the Gorakhpur Express Highways, Bogeybill Bridge, and so many metro corridors. So these are few of the names only. A lot of airports and railway station projects are also coming. So we have also supplied on those projects. This is a small overview. We are in the steel, power, and infra mining segments, not only in India as well as in abroad. We do have our mines in Australia and Mozambique. Our manufacturing plant is mostly in the mineral-rich belts of Chhattisgarh and Odisha and Jharkhand. So we do have our 9.6 million ton capacity steel mill, and we are further expanding up to 12 metric ton. And in coming years, by 2030, we are planning to expand up to 30 million tons capacity. So these are some our product range. You can see we are in the rail. Actually, you will see we are the only private manufacturer in the rail segment, and we are the only manufacturer in India to produce head-hardened rail, which are for high-speed metro and bullet trains. We are in structural products like parallel flage beams, columns, channels, angles. We also manufacture wire rods, and of course, that is our widely renowned product, Jindal Panther TM3 bars by our consumers. These are our flat products in plates, coils, and some ready-made materials like fabricated structures, speed floors. We are for the first time for the heavy HEMM products, heavy earth-moving vehicles. We also manufacture the track shoes in India. This is the main gist to come here for the awareness. In the market, you will find a lot of brands with the name of Jindal. Jindal 550, Jindal SD, Jindal HD, Jindal Ultra HD, whatever you name, Jindal 550. So how to distinguish? Because there are a lot of secondary products which are running in the market and in the name of Jindal. So to distinguish ourselves, we have come with the name of brand Jindal Panther. And we have also initiated so many campaigns in our newspapers and social media to differentiate how we can different. So you can name few of the secondary brands in the 500D, 550D, JSPL 500D. So we want to say it was the perception in many of our clients that all these are the brand names under the name of Jindal Panther. So I want to clarify our only and only brand is named Jindal Panther. And this time we have also taken as Hardik Pandya as our brand ambassador. We have also sponsored World Cup, IPL for this brand awareness. If you also want to identify at the site, you can identify with the name of this BIS code, which is Bureau of Indian Standard, gives a specific code where it manufactures. So we do manufacture from our Patratu, that is comes with 580868, and from Angul 520268, it is in Orissa. So this is for the identification of the genuine Jindal Panther product. Whatever the USPs, strength, stability, and the structural integrity, as you have seen the video, there you can see the better bonding with the concrete and the better corrosion resistance, because corrosion is the enemy of the TMT. So we'll try to go a bit deeper how we are our product is manufactured and how it is different. We are manufacturing from virgin iron ore. We don't use recycle scrap because it has got a lot of impurities and chemistry definitely hampers. Because many of people think that TMT सरिया यार कुछ नहीं है, एक steel rod ही तो है. But actually, I would like to say there is a lot of science behind it. If you see the upper surface, the upper outer layer should give the strength, and the strength as well as ductility both are important. So the inner core gives the ductility, the flexibility. So there is a proper combination. ज़्यादा strong भी नहीं होना चाहिए, otherwise वो brittle हो जाएगा, और अगर ज़्यादा ductile भी नहीं होना चाहिए, फिर वो flexible हो जाएगा. So there is a certain ratio which is governed by our Indian standard. So how our products perform all those standards, I will show you in further slides. So we are from virgin iron ore. हमारा mines से ही we start our chemical refining. Yeah, that's the table I was trying to refer. What should be the carbon percentage? What should be the carbon equivalent sulfur and phosphorus percentage? So our product always try to maintain all those parameters and surpass the requirement of the Indian standard. One thing I'd like to just एक थोड़ा सा 5 मिनट के लिए मैं 2 मिनट के लिए बोलूंगा. I think many of you have seen the movie Titanic. आप सभी ने टाइटैनिक मूवी देखी होगी. आपको पता होगा वो टाइटैनिक में वो शिप जो डूब जाता है, तो मैंने को सभी कुछ लोगों को लगता है यार इट वाज जस्ट लाइक एक्सीडेंट, एक आइसबर्ग से कोलिजन हुआ और वो डूब गया, डैमेज होके. बट मैं यहाँ पे कहना चाहूंगा दैट वाज नॉट ओनली द मेयर एक्सीडेंट, इट वाज अ ब्लंडर विद द साइंस. वो मेटलर्जिकल ब्लंडर हुआ था क्योंकि दैट टाइम द टेक्नोलॉजी वाज नॉट दैट मच एडवांस्ड. दोज माइक्रो एलिमेंट्स, आप अगर आप नेट पे सर्च करें, गूगल करें, you will find the sulfur and phosphorus percentage was way too high, and at that low temperature that sulfur and phosphorus gave the brittleness. तो वो जैसे ही impact हुआ वो टुकड़े में हो गया. So all those carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, these are the key components which are very important, which are not controlled in the secondary market, secondary product brands, because their mills are not that much automated, because it should be computer controlled and the parameters should be all as per the design. Yeah, that's the steel manufacturing from secondary route. Actually, आप देखेंगे इंडिया में mostly the जो small scale पे producers होते हैं, what they do, they buy scrap, they import scrap, and दे रिसाइकल द इंडक्शन फर्नेस, और उसके बाद वो डायरेक्ट इंडक्शन फर्नेस के बाद वो कास्टिंग कर देते हैं। यहाँ पे कोई केमिस्ट्री कंट्रोल नहीं होती है। केमिस्ट्री कंट्रोल के लिए आपको बिल्कुल फ्रॉम स्टार्टिंग आप ब्लास्ट फर्नेस या DRI रूट जो बोलते हैं, डायरेक्ट रिड्यूसिंग आयरन, उस मेथड पे अगर आप जाएंगे तभी आप केमिस्ट्री कंट्रोल कर पाएंगे। सो यू कैन सी many of the local manufacturers start with this route only, and consumers are not aware because वो economical होता है और वो they try to use all सस्ता माल, एंड बिकॉज आपको कुछ पैसे बच जाएंगे, बट ये आपको लॉन्ग रन में वो आपको जंग खा जाएगी और वो आपकी बिल्डिंग जो है वो डैमेज होगी। Yeah, this is the primary route where from iron ore, our manufacturing starts from iron ore. It goes through blast furnace where it is melted at hot metal, and then वहां पे उसकी स्टील रिफाइनिंग होती है, वहां पे उस पे कार्बन एंड सारे डिजॉल्व गैसेस को निकाला जाता है, एंड देन वी उसको हम लोग कंटिन्यूअस कास्टिंग करके बिलेट्स या ब्लूम्स बनाते हैं, एंड वी फर्दर कास्ट इट टू TMT बार्स। TMT बार्स कास्टिंग में जो होती है वो भी कंप्यूटराइज्ड मिल में कैसे कंट्रोल होती है वो मैं आगे बताऊंगा। ये कॉनकास्ट रूट से हम लोग वेरी लो लेवल ऑफ सल्फर एंड फास्फोरस इंश्योर करते हैं। Now, this is the uniform microstructure I was talking about. If you see, there are two layers, concentric circle, you must be seeing the uniform martensite ring that is gives a strength, and the inner one gives the ductility. So both proper, the circle should be, their shape should be uniform. And in many of the less advanced mills, it is not possible. This UTS by YS ratio, it is the parameter which is given by our Indian standard. There is certain 1.08 is the value which we try to maintain. This is our new brand. You can say new. You can say a segment CRS, corrosion resistant steel, which has a lot additional copper, nickel, and chromium, which gives additional protection from corrosion. And this is my last point, how it is economical. Because there are a lot of grades, 500, 550, 550D, 600. What does it mean? It means कि सर वो उसकी स्ट्रेंथ है, वो आप जैसे जैसे आप स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ेंगे, जब बढ़ते जाएंगे, as you rise in the strength, the rating, the percentage in terms of requirement of steel, number of bars will further drop down. So it will definitely give you a saving in terms of a steel, as well as it will also good for the concrete because it will give more space for to rods to get bonded with the concrete. So as you see, this is 415 grade, how much it is, this pillar is dense, but the same, if you use 550D, there are more spacing, which gives more space to concrete to get bonded with the bars. And Jindal Panther is the happy to announce that we are recently certified with 50 mm. It is the 50 mm dia TMT, which are used mostly on infra projects and heavy bridges. And this is our esteemed customers. Many of are not in the list, but we are trying to cater as far as possible pan India. So this was all about from me. Thank you. If you have any query, you can ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sarvesh, for that gripping presentation. And before we move ahead, I request the hotel team to kindly set up the stage for our next session. Thank you so much. And like I said, we now move on to our next session of the evening, the much awaited Doyen's panel discussion, one we all have been waiting for with bated breath. And as we commence the panel discussion, I'd like to introduce to you all our esteemed speakers, starting with the National Honorable Secretary of the Indian Institute of Interior Designers and previously the editor for IIID's national magazines, both Insight and Inscape, for 3 terms. Her line of project, termed as Small is Beautiful, are specially designed homes for individuals who are transitioning from busy to stress-free lifestyles, adopting the principles of basic clean living. It takes me immense pleasure to welcome on stage the co-founder of SS plus PD Architects, Architect Shamini Shankar Jain. Can we please have you on stage, ma'am? Next, we have one of the ASA's founding partners with a keen interest in all aspects of building technology that makes him on the role of overall project coordination naturally. Awarded the Best Architect of the Year 2008 by Pivonia Asia Spa for spa architecture, his flagship project, Taj Rambagh Palace Jaipur, has been consistently ranked amongst the top 10 luxury hotels of the world. Please welcome with a huge round of applause the partner at ASA Design Jaipur, architect Amit Gehlot. Next, he is one of the highly professional and popular architects in North India and well known for completing projects on time and successfully dealing with various issues like climate, site, topography, sustainability, adoption of latest technology, etc. Please welcome on stage the Managing Director of GM Architects, Architect Gaurav Mohan Mathur. And moving on further, I'd like to invite yet another speaker on stage. His contributions extended beyond the confines of his professional roles as he continues to inspire students, peers, and the architectural community with his passion for innovative design and sustainable architecture. His multifaceted involvement in both practice and education underscores his commitment to shaping the future of architecture in India. One of his notable projects is the Anand Fort on JLN Road, a testament to his architectural prowess where aesthetics seamlessly merge with practical design. Please welcome on stage the principal architect at Front Desk Architects, Architect Manish Jain. And next we have the multifaceted and his love for good design has led him to express his creativity in various forms of architecture, be it a resort, high-rise residential building, hotel, or high-end homes. He's graduated in industrial design and specialized in furniture design from NID Ahmedabad in 1994. With a huge round of applause, please welcome on stage one of the founders of Wheaton Designs Private Limited, the very talented Samir Wheaton. And last but not the least, he has won many prestigious awards during his practice of 22 years. He was the youngest architect to bag the Inside Outside Designer of the Year award in 2003 for one of the first few of his interior design projects. Since then, he has more than 24 awards, recognitions to his credit at national and international levels, including holding the Limca record for the design of exploring unconventional ways to integrating greenery in built form and spaces. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, last but not the least, our curator and moderator, the founder of Dhruv Designs, Architect Dhruv Gupta. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. And I handle the forum to you, Dhruv sir.
Thank you. मैं तो बैठूंगा नहीं. So, uh, so I want to acknowledge the panel before us. Wonderful discussion. और उसमें डिस्कस ये हो ही गया है कि एस्थेटिक्स और इकोनॉमिक्स में तो कुछ वर्सेस है ही नहीं. So the real debate actually is कि debate या cocktail और dinner.
So on that note, I just want to add a point. We have a lot of people standing at the back. I request everyone to please come forward and be seated. We have a very interesting panel discussion here.
Do we?
Yes, we are. We trust you, sir.
Okay. So shall we start? So आप लोग हमको झेलने के लिए तैयार हैं सबके सब? Everybody is comfortable with Hindi and English? Great. And how many designers in the house? Okay, thank you. So we have quite a few. Thank you. So मेरा पहला question है, so design, aesthetics versus economics. So I'll pose it to Shamini. What was in your long, I think you must be having like 40 years plus experience? 36, okay. So when was the first time that you encountered this aesthetics versus economics? Can you tell us any anecdote or some your first memory of this?
I think you all the time while designing, you do encounter many occasions where you have to make decisions. But I can't really think of a particular moment where this has happened, but it happens all the time in every project. And initially, when I was much younger, there were times when I used to just give up. And I realized when I walked to the house or the project afterwards, and I felt the shortcomings which I saw were because I compromised. And then I kind of evolved to the point where I said, no, there will be no such compromises, but instead we collaborate with the client and we come to solutions where we actually make the aesthetics, but fulfill the economics. So I think I have to date successfully managed that, but that means you need a lot of patience, you need to develop a lot of iterations, and you need to actually move with that attitude in mind.
So any interesting anecdote you would like to share with us, which would?
Yeah, it recently happened. My two staff were here yesterday. I had designed these really heavy columns that would come because I felt that they were stone columns, and this was a kind of Haveli we were doing, and in a more modernized manner. So I had stylized these columns, and they were a little bulbous at the base. And all the peripheral columns were made along with the arches, etc. But I think that pinched the client. And last minute, she rang up to say, definitely not. In the courtyard, you need to give me slimmer columns. And I just felt, I kind of made those iterations. I said, this is what we've done, and this is what I can do, but I'm not happy with it. And then we worked, and then we came up to some solution with the help of my team. And, we came up with a column which we were both very satisfied with, but not entirely. However, I would say that, to an architect's eye, maybe you would say this, what you did originally was what it should have been. But when you try to put and work with economics, then I think you need to come to a point, don't give up, but you need to come to a point where you both can come midway. And I think sometimes that works.
Got that. Thank you very much. So Amit, Shamini, and Samir are senior to me, and Manish probably my contemporary, and Gaurav is my junior. So Ayush, you had it easier. Everybody was younger to you. So I'll go to Amit now. And so if you want to share with us some anecdote of how aesthetics versus economics, or when was the first time you sort of had the quandary?
So the space that we are in, Dhruv, we are in hospitality industry, cater to hospitality industry design.
As young architects, once we started our practice, the ambition was to be able to do and use the most expensive materials available. That's how I think everyone starts. You need it's the price that dictates the choice of material. I'm talking about very early days, and it took us some time and a couple of projects and a lot of pain to understand that what we are designing for is not a Taj Mahal. It's not a home. It is purely a business proposition where return on investment matters. So you have to actually put yourself in the client's shoes and understand that he's spending money to earn money. It's not his home. It's not a monument. It's not a museum. So then I think it dawned on us. And subsequently, we are more sensitive in a lot of projects, in a lot of cases, than even the client now, to be able to hold his hand and tell him, please, enough, don't spend beyond this. Otherwise, we've seen a lot of hotel projects, hospitality projects actually go bust midway because of the very ambitious nature of the developers.
So you are telling me that it's the developers who are wanting to spend more.
First-time hoteliers who think that they're doing a status symbol for themselves.
Correct. Got that. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Samir.
So I
just try knocking it once.
Is it on? Yeah. So I agree with Amit. You know, we do both residential and hospitality projects. So it's very easy to go, you know, off budget. It's a very happy situation though, sometimes. So in hospitality, you have to be really careful and, you know, absolutely sensitive to the thing because the project, you know, the total cost of the project is generally very high. And from the beginning, if you're not careful on the economics of it, right? Towards the end, when the exciting stuff starts happening, right? That gets compromised. So we learned it through a couple of, you know, experiences and mistakes and stuff like that. But, you know, coming down to residences, it kind of, there's sometimes an open budget. Yeah, which is great. And as we guys do a lot of, we try to do a lot of experimental stuff, right? So from the beginning, we try to be very sensitive and try to aim towards the economy of the, you know, the project, right? Because we need to do a lot of experimentation and we try to put in a lot of experimental stuff in it, which obviously, you know, there's some, you know, there's some failures, there's some, you have to go through a whole process of experimentation, which actually costs a bit. So, you know, that's how our projects, you know, kind of weave.
And I've seen a lot of your work. So do you think that your projects, which you do, I would say recently, the client is really concerned about the budget or?
Well, yes. You know, they do because, you know, when it's cumulative, it becomes a, you know, fairly large sum. And there's always something going on, you know, because the series of clients have, you know, 2-3 projects running at the same point of time. So, you know,
So they need to do the balancing act.
Yeah, you need to do the balancing act. And we guys also need to do the balancing act because it's very easy to go, you know, off board.
Right, got that. So I'll pose the same question to Manish.
For me, the architecture is not a circus. Architecture is like a film, Indian film. The architect is a director, an architect is a writer, and the client is a producer. The client basically finance this film, and there's all the contractors and all these things are basically, the contractors are the actor. We actually perform on the site. And architect basically direct them how to control the basic budget of this is in hand of architect and it's a script. The design is a script. you can say the design we produce in our office is a script in which all actors play. All the vendors, these vendors play on this script. Generally, whenever you go to site, the site is written in the map, it's written in the document. You produce lots of documents, like tender documents there. There is a drawings are there. So architect is basically a director. It's not directly. Now, the job of architect is to understand that how to control this economics so that the project is in budget. So whenever anyone come to this seat, your project, you should enjoy this. Whenever you go to cinema and then you see the first feel. Whenever architect mega buildings, whenever anyone go there, first impression is the last impression. So we see the project, how it impact. This is same in the, you can compare it, or you could do analogy with Indian film. There is a hero, there is a heroine, there is a villain. There is a villain in also.
Yeah, who's the villain?
Who's the villain? There is a villain also. Now, villain is basically, you can say, the villain can be a vastu. Anything.
Oh, yes.
Villain
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be vastu.
Standing
So,
ovation, please.
It spoiled all these things. The vastu person says, "Oh no, you should put this in this corner." It's very important. Now the corner is in the, when you see the building, the corner comes just in your vista, and you have to, that is the what say, the villain can be the vastu. Whatever the see is, you can see the job of architect is to understand there is a thin line. There is a thin line between, you can say, the producer and the director and the actors and the basic financer. There are financing are there. The bank will finance that. No, liabilities ultimately goes with architect. I say when say that nobody is listening to him or not, that is not the solutions. That is not a solutions. You have to understand the sanctity, that you have a big responsibility to understand that you have to balance these things, aesthetics and economics. You have to balance it, and you have to make the film a hit. Then your practice will success.
I think Manish, you put that most beautifully. ये director वाली line तो मैं भी अपने clients को बताता हूँ, but the whole script writing and the villain, I think that was just wonderful. So posing the same question to Gaurav, when was the time that you could, this aesthetics versus economics is something which you had to deal with?
So this was in the initial days when I started my practice, I would put it up this way that, your office also have some economics, internally. So, this client comes to us and he says that, we want to do the residence design. And, with all the enthusiasm on the initial days, we did this design and everything. And he really liked the design. So next day morning, he says that, apan isme ye bhi add kar dete hain. So the moment he says ye bhi add kar dete hain, there's the whole matrix has to be reworked. That means now you have to put in a lot of energy and effort to really, to cater to this new design brief, basically, So now you're again 4 days are gone. Now, when you give the presentation on the 4th day, there is again some demand that pops up, So what I'm trying to say is that, economic part is not only on the project front, but, it is on your office front as well. So it is really important to balance both the things. And yet you have to give something which is very aesthetic, value for money, and something which is really desired by the client. So it has to be between all these, lines.
Yeah, so that's a very important perspective that you got into. So this is something which I deal with very often, and I'll ask each one of you if it's ever happened to you, or how often does it happen to you that the client says that his budget is X, but it is not X, or in my experience, it is never X. So if you can share with me, starting with Amit, any experience where the client said the budget is X, but actually it was, and then where it was less than X or it was more than X.
So again, the kind of field that we're designing for, the numbers are pretty transparent. The clients cannot lie to us because there's a feasibility report on the table, and we know what the budgets are. If the client tells us to, the wish list is always to do a percentage below what's on the table. And so to answer your question briefly, we have X, which is sort of fixed.
So I'll tell you where I'm asking this question from, because probably I did not communicate that totally. So what happens is that many a times in my projects, what happens is the client is slightly nervous that we are not spending enough on the project, and whether it will turn out the way, or whether it will be enough for the project or not. So has it been ever that you have dealt with something like that?
Never, never. So I think if the client has that confidence in you in terms of you as a, see, I'll tackle it in a different
Yeah,
manner.
sure.
Never been able to understand, forgive my initial nascent practice days, but I've never been able to understand the infatuation with catalog specifications. So what exists in a catalog has a price and a number to it, and you are specifying that product to a project, to a client, which is going to be maybe one in thousands, one in 10,000s. So the installation, what is he paying you for is not curation of catalog products, but I think he's paying you to use your mind to introduce him to some bespoke methodology of using materials, which might not cost you the same. I think it's a balancing act, and you have to introduce the client or sensitize the client that it's not the material, but the way the material is used, which makes or breaks your design. So no, we have never faced this problem that a client comes to us and says, कि थोड़ा गुड़ और डालो तो मीठा होगा. Right.
Got that. Shamini.
So the kind of typology I work with, I mean, whether it's a small house or a big house, I don't, have clients who confront me saying, this is my budget. So I try to actually invest a lot of time in the initial process of trying to understand whether they want to work with me or not, because for me, that's essential. And once that breaks, that barrier is broken, I think to a large extent, I mean, we work overtime just to be able to gain that confidence. And it is through the design process and involving them in the process. And as Amit says, of course, being transparent. I'm not saying clients are not conscious of what they're spending. They definitely are. But I think, you take them around full circle and they come back to what you have proposed largely, at least in my case. So I just don't work with budgets. At the same time, I do not take decisions that are, I don't encourage penny wise, pound foolish. I can only advise them. But at the same time, I do not, if a client feels that the budget here in this particular manner is needed to be restrictive, then I definitely look for options, because I think that is the collaborative process that we both, are drawn into. So I don't have clients like yours saying, please spend more, but I do have clients who finally turn around and say, all right, let's spend on this. So it kind of works
And to me, that's so refreshingly different from what Amit's perspective is.
Yes.
So refreshingly different.
Yes.
Gaurav.
When we get into the design process, we spend a lot of time with the client on the initial, discussions and designs and references. That is where, you understand what is really required by the client in the whole space where, he wants to spend, where he doesn't want to spend, and then we kind of average it out. And then, we come to a common consensus on the table that, this is the kind of amount that we're going to spend on the project. And when we both are comfortable on that and client agrees on it and we agree on it, that's where, we take the things forward. So now, we don't really end up into a situation where we thought of something and we are moving out onto something else altogether. Yes, of course, there's a little bit of variation here and there, but more or less it gets streamlined.
Okay. Manish.
For me, first, initially, don't take the project without testing the client. Just for the young patriarchy, I say, don't jump to the project. First, initially refuse him and say, if generally what happens, you generally influenced by the client and say it is okay and okay. This is not this is no okay. This is no okay. So you have to first test the client. If client really insists you that you do my work, and then you try to fulfill his dreams and try to make it happy. Otherwise, what happen? You are generally driven by the client statement, and the end product is basically spoiling your future career. Because whenever the client comes only by seeing your project. The only source of your reference is your project. So you should be very careful of selecting the client. Initially, what happened for young peoples, they say if project is coming, just take it. Whatever the project is coming, it is like if you see that if you do some inferior project and think your market is spoiled. You have to be very careful of selecting the client. If the client is not ready to listen you, the client is not ready to understand your policies, if client is not, just refuse the project.
So Manish, how do you test the client? So one thing which I got was that refuse the client.
हाँ.
एक बार मना कर दो, फिर अगर लौट के आ रहा है, वो कोई शेयर है ना कि वो if you let it go, if it क्या है वो? Can anybody help me from the audience? Yeah, what? Yeah, can you help me with that? If it comes back, it's yours.
This is my philosophy.
Any other tips? Okay, thank you, Mani. That was again very refreshing. Samir.
So for the projects, we, once we have the conversations with the clients and see the lifestyle and all, we kind of hold ourselves responsible. Yeah. In a greater sense in terms of the environment and, in terms of the budgets and stuff like that, to keep it to a certain limit. Yeah. And we try to achieve it during the process. And also, it is related to the lifestyle of the client and what they want to achieve. So that's where our budgets, we really don't start with any budget, but we try to keep it in a level where we have the freedom till towards the end to do whatever we and the client feels like. So it's a very flexible thing because it's his dream that we are trying to fulfill.
Right. In fact, I'll give two examples of where I was making this question. One was Fort. So that is, of course, most of you, I hope, have gone to that property. So when we were nearing the completion, the stage came for flooring. So my client said कि Italian marble के बिना तो banquet hall बनता नहीं है. So उसके बिना तो look ही नहीं आएगा. So and I was very clear, and I think everybody in this room, जो भी architects होंगे, वो कोई मेरे से question कभी नहीं बोलेगा. But my client was very clear कि Italian marble लगना चाहिए, नहीं तो look नहीं आएगा. So of course, as you all said, I stood my ground and finally वहाँ quota stone लगा, and then of course, अगर Italian marble लगता तो वो चीज एकदम खत्म हो जाती. But the other anecdote is when I was doing a house and I and my client were sitting outside his house on a day before the inauguration. So he was obviously very happy with the whole setup and everything. और सब जा चुके थे, हम दोनों चबूतरे पे बाहर बैठे. उन्होंने बोला कि ध्रुव जी, अब बताओ कल इनॉग्रेशन है, अपन कोई 4-5 लाख रुपए और लगा के और क्या कर सकते हैं इसके अंदर. So I think something which I experience quite a lot is that when a project starts, especially residential project, commercial project में ऐसा नहीं होता है, like what, you can't go overboard in a commercial project, but residential project, I realize that as the project proceeds or progresses, the client becomes more and more aspirational. मेरे साथ कई बार ऐसा हुआ है कि they have become more aspirational than me. कि साहब ये तो कर ही नहीं रहे हो और ये भी कर लो और ये भी कर लो, so like that. So I think that's happened with me. Any one of you want to share any anecdote similar to this? Like I'm very intrigued by those elephants. So if you could tell me the story of those elephants, and you could introduce the audience to what those elephants are and how they came about.
Talking about is we were doing a house in Lutyens, Delhi, And the client is, obviously they're businessmen and stuff like that, and they're flying in planes and having meetings in air-conditioned areas and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting guy. So he came out, and he came to me and said, Sameer, मेरे को jungle book जैसा घर बनाया. I want. So the garden is rough outside, and they're kind of international set of a business house. So they said India की सारी जो भी अपनी main architectural features हैं या जो भी अपने वास्तु की चीजें हैं सब इस घर में डाल दो. So there's a courtyard in the center, right? The house is made out of white marble because we are trying, because we like the Taj Mahal, so that's all I could do, So we made it in white marble, and obviously, there's the white elephant. So because it was made in white elephant, I didn't tell him that, right? I said this house is going to be a white elephant, so we made these elephants out of white marble, which are actually each elephant weighs about 40 tons. It's the same size of a full elephant, and so that's how these elephants came out. But it's just to get the Indian experience for the for those gentlemen who ever they visit that house.
So I'm just curious, has it ever happened, and I think all of you will answer that. Has it ever happened that there was a budgetary constraint on a project, and because of that budgetary constraint, it actually came out better in hindsight?
Yeah, it's I've done a couple of houses which I actually love. They're my favorite houses because there was a budgetary constraint. This guy came to me. I'm not going to name the city. I'm not going to name the person, but he came to me in an auto rickshaw, right? And he was there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and he walked in. He waited for me till the time I reached office, and he said, Sameer, I want you to do a house for me. And I got this piece of land in the city, but it's in, let's say, something like civil lines. And the piece of land was just, I think, about 15 feet wide and 50 meters long.
Meters?
50 meters. But it was just 15 feet, right? Just
15 meters or
15 feet.
Feet, हाँ. और लंबाई?
हाँ, लंबाई 50 मीटर उसको.
मीटर?
हाँ, मीटर.
150 फुट?
हाँ, ऐसा पतला
Wow.
strip. Right? Right? And he said, like sort of, and he ran a printing press, जो paper print करते हैं, those pink pamphlets and stuff like that. And he was somewhere about 27 or 30 years old. And he said, I'm going to change my profession. I'm going to become an orthodontist. And I'm, he's actually a super successful orthodontist. So he changed his profession when he was 30. And he said, Sameer, I have no money. I have no money to pay your design fees, but I know I'm going to be the top orthodontist, right? And you're going to build this house where I'm going to have the clinic, and it's like exactly like civil lines. It's the main thing. So he said, I can't give you a fee. I can give you anything. You have to come there and on your own cost, come to the city, design and do anything. So it was a great challenge, and I took it up. And sure enough, after 6 years, he came back and he calculated whatever the thing was with the interest and everything, and he gave that
Wow.
fee. And it is a very successful house. It's a very successful business place for him because he has got his clinic there and stuff like that. And he's one of the top guys. So that was a very satisfying.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. Manish?
Lots of experience are there.
Experiences where the budgetary constraint was there, and because of the budgetary constraint, you thought after the project was complete that it actually came out better.
The budgetary constraint in my project want to make a resort. They want to make a resort in some place near to Jaipur, and they have very budgetary constraint are there. They have very low budgets. They are retired from some government servant, and they have not so much, but their land is big. They have only land is big. They want to construct a resort. The budgetary constraint helped me. We built the whole entire building in say it is a stone construction in lime. This lime mortar is used, and the stone slabs are there, and the Kota stone is there. There's a flooring, and the windows are very. They basically it's like village, a village feeling, you can say. The project is completed, and it give the feeling that you are living in the village. It is a dhani. You can say this is dhani. Dhani, small village hamlets. So it is the feeling is that you are living in this dhani, and that all not a single tree is cut. So it is not designed on an AutoCAD. It is designed on the site, and we find the space that here this place is suitable for this hut, and this space suitable for this, and this become a, you can say, organic development. And I find this project very interesting because of their budget constraint. Otherwise, what happened? Cut all the trees and make a 3-story building. That is not resolved.
Okay, thank you. Gaurav?
So one fine evening, a senior from my school called me up and said, he wants to meet me. So he dropped into the office, the very next day and said, I've got some piece of land near Jaipur, and this was the ancestral land which came to his part, So he wanted to do something in this land, but then he was very clear that I don't have budget, So he told me a very little figure, and that was a figure in which we couldn't do the project. So he said, Bhaiya, let us go to the site once and let's see, and, let's explore what, things we can do. So, we went to the site, stayed there, there was like 2 rooms were there. So we stayed there and, we explored certain things. So we found a very old contractor there, and, we had a talk with him, and, he agreed to take the, payment in installments, So we figured out one part, that he would be able to help us, Then, we figured out somebody, from our, contacts, that he was ready to fund the building material, and, we could pay him later. So now, we could manage all that, but then we were so cautious about every inch of space that, we were totally out of budget. So, we did the project so cautiously that, it's very close to my heart, and is doing good. It's a resort somewhere in around Sarista.
So I'll interrupt you. Cardinal sin as far as moderators are concerned, but I would want to know what is that one thing that you did because of that budgetary constraint, which you would not have done otherwise?
So we were very, very particular in terms of selecting the material. That was one, we picked up very, very local material.
So give an example.
So, we wanted to do some wall in stone, for example, now, we picked up the stones which were nearby, and, they were not looking very nice aesthetically. But then, we did a dummy wall of about 3 feet, and we realized that the whole panel of this is going to look very nice, so no transportation cost. The mine was nearby. The mason who was working was very conversant with the stone, so he could turn around, make the edges, and do everything, at a very, very nominal cost for us. So ultimately, the whole project came up very well and in a budget, So that was a good
इन
experience.
5 लोगों के साथ मैं सिर्फ तुमसे ऐसे बात कर सकता हूँ. Thank you for indulging me. Shamini, please.
Yeah, so I think my situation has been a little different because we have worked with clients who have stayed in, brought up families in 600 square feet of home, and then suddenly, bulge into maybe 12,000 square feet. But interestingly, the other kind where people have bigger homes and come in for, second homes, there was this situation where I had facing the Aravallis and these huge, natural gardens. There was a lot of vegetation, and I had opened out this, their formal living room towards the hills, and I had this, this circular living space, which was completely opened to, maybe 180 degrees. So the question was, how best could I actually, make this medium as transparent and least invasive visually? And obviously, the first thing would be to actually design curved glass. But that was where it turned out really expensive. And thankfully, when my client said that, I actually racked my brains, and I came to a point where I did this entire curve in star-shaped serrations. And that turned out so interesting because you didn't just, experience just a blanket, natural landscape, but it seemed to be fragmented at some points. It seemed to be framed at other points, and it seemed to be kind of like a picture that has been cut. So, and at some points you could just see the beauty of, so I think for me, that was such a revelation, and I enjoyed that.
How early was that in your professional career?
Oh, it was not early. It was during my small is beautiful phase, where yeah, where these people live in Dubai. So they have a huge setup there. And this was just a 6 biga land. And somehow they felt at this time they didn't want their big farmhouse. So they decided to make this one-room cottage. And that cottage actually, we delved and I kept detailing and detailing and detailing, and that cottage didn't become a mere 900 square feet space. It because of all that detailing, it kind of got a little, but they just loved it, and they actually encouraged me to really kind of push my kind of, so that's something that I'm happy about, that sometimes these clients put pressure on you. And I think you have to develop that attitude to accept and to work within that, restriction, is, if that's the right word. And I think sometimes it really works well. I think all the time it works well because you don't give up.
Amit.
Right. So, one of the very few non-hospitality projects that we've done, and this dates back to 2007. This is an institute for specially abled children in Sitapura, Bambala Pulia. And when you talk of budgets, the figure was zilch, zero. So the dream of the trust was to build something, and we not only had to design, but to sell our designs to potential donors to get that building up and running. So you can understand that there was no budget. So forget budget constraints. In that tight budget, I think in that tight situation, we finished that building within a span of 3 years, running from door to pillar, collecting donations. I became so passionate, forget my fees. I became a trustee of that trust and still associated with that organization till date.
Wow.
Doing phenomenal work. I would invite all of you to actually visit that. That's the trust's name is Darshan, and it's right bang on Bambala Pulia, right next to Maheshwari Girls Public School. And the testament to what the design was, I can't explain it in words, but the testament to the fact that the design was something else that we've ever been able to achieve on any of our projects where budget was never a constraint, is the fact that Aga Khan Trust nominated that building for the Aga Khan Award in 2007.
Wow. So any particular detail you would want to,
or
anything particular you
it is,
remember? With
coming from a hospitality industry, we have this bad habit of using two words: capital expenditure, that's capex, and operational expenditure, that's opex. So for us, it was maybe we could spend a little more today, but make sure that the building survives the test of time and does not require maintenance, because we knew that sustaining that sort of an operation and to be able to renovate or upkeep a building of that sort is going to be impossible. So I think it was a balancing act. A lot of stone which was available on site was used, no plaster. Patchwork in terms of how plastered surfaces, rendered surfaces, and exposed stone masonry interacts with each other in that entire building with exposed RCC is something that I can't explain, as I said, in words. One has to experience, and sustainability is something I think is a very abused word. For us, architects, especially designers, because the planet cannot afford another chance. So it's something like you're not taught, or you don't consciously think if you have to walk. You just get up and walk. I think sustainability in design is something that needs to be ingrained in yourself. You don't need to talk about it. You need to practice it in your daily life, in your daily practice. So things like you still can experience in that building that in peak summers, they don't need coolers. So the way the wind blows, the way the courtyards are placed, the way the water bodies are, the way the vegetation is, and the way the pathfinding system in the entire building is, because there are blind students there, there are deaf and dumb students there. So wayfinding for all those kids have been done in a manner which does not require any electricity. It's all sustainable. And as I said, you need to experience it. I can't explain it in words.
So we'll make sure that there is a like a trip to
Absolutely, would love to host you people.
So before I open, अगर आप लोग के endurance level अभी cross नहीं हुई होगी, so I think we'll love to welcome some questions. And so ना मेरे लिए बड़ा मुश्किल होता है moderate करना, क्योंकि मुझे खुद बहुत बात करने का मन करता है. तो it's like an empire, you know, you make Sachin Tendulkar the empire, like that kind of a, मेरे को feel हो गया मैं भी कुछ बोलूं. So मैं दो छोटे incidences बताऊंगा, because the similar question I'll pose to myself. And both of them happened at Diggy Palace, and both of them happened during the Literature Festival. So there was this the client of mine, young couple, and they wanted to do a restaurant. We had 30 days because the Literature Festival was going on, and they had, like you said, no money. So वो project हमने so it was a very nice, the site was nice. There was these वहाँ पर केवड़े के पेड़ थे. So we made sure कि हमारा कोई भी हम पेड़ काटे नहीं, और हमारा सारा furniture सीमेंट बोर्ड और स्टील जो रीबार्स में बनाया था. एंड दैट वाज द चीपेस्ट प्रोजेक्ट ऑफ माय लाइफ. 2 लाख रुपए में पूरा रेस्टोरेंट बन गया था, विच ऑफ कोर्स ओपन एयर था, एयर कंडीशन नहीं था, तो सस्टेनेबल भी था. सो एंड इट वेंट ऑन फॉर 3-4 आई थिंक 5-6 साल चला. बहुत अच्छा थाई क्विजीन मिलता था वहाँ पे. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स देयर वाज समथिंग एंड इट वाज रिप्ड ऑफ. एंड देन अ जूनियर फ्रॉम स्कूल दे सेड भैया फिर आ रहा है, मैंने कैंटीन का वो ठेका मैंने लिया है, और समथिंग लाइक दैट. तो आई वांट यू टू वीव सम मैजिक, एंड आई हैव वन नाइट. सो आई वाज टीचिंग एट MNIT दैट टाइम. सो आई कॉल्ड, मैंने कहा कि कुछ है, कुछ जिसको भी कुछ एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए वो आ जाओ. सो वी गॉट सम नेट्स, जो आई थिंक बैडमिंटन का नेट, ये बड़ा था नेट, छोटा नहीं था बैडमिंटन का, छोटा. इट वाज अ बिग नेट. सो वी जस्ट टुक, 2 मुड्ढे थे वहां पे, तो मुड्ढे हमने लगा दिए, और हमने बस नेट्स खींच के पेड़ में ऊपर नीचे नेट्स लगा के, एंड वी जस्ट सॉर्ट ऑफ लिट इट अप, एंड इट came out very, very well. So that was these are the 2 examples where if I had not had that brief, then I would have never approached it like that. So I think picking up from the panel discussion which happened earlier, कि आपको पैसे की जरूरत नहीं है. It's the idea, it's the intention which matters really. So there is no economics versus aesthetics. So we open the the floor to questions, please. Yeah, we have one there.
Practicing architecture is not a simple, it is not a so easy or so. You have to be taking a balance so that your basic needs are fulfilled, and then you focus on the quality. You have to be very much particular of making your office running so well, so that your quality is not hampered, so that whenever the client come, the client have some mind. Actually, the situation is changed. Earlier, what happened? There are only 4 or 5 architects are in there in Jaipur. Earlier, now there are lots of architects. The client basically selective. The clients go one door to second door to third door. Clients move around. Whenever we say that I don't want to do the work, the client insists to do the work. If you really like your work, please, this is the psychology. When you refuse somebody that I don't want to do your work, then the clients thinks that means that the architect has some quality. Then he insists himself. This is my experience. He insists again. देखिए थोड़ा टाइम निकालिए ना हमारे पास तक हमारा काम कर लीजिए. Let's. They basically start the voice is changed. When you say whatever you do, आप जो भी देंगे हम कर लेंगे. Then the client is reversed. नहीं आप तो आप ये भी करो, आप ये भी करो, ये सब इसमें भी जैसे कहते हैं ना, जैसे चवन्नी का पान है, इसमें आप इकट्ठा भी डाल दो, इसमें ये भी डाल दो, इसमें वो भी डाल दो, सब डाल दो. चवन्नी का पान में क्या क्या चीज आएगी. तो वैसे वो आर्किटेक्ट के साथ करेंगे कि साहब 3D भी बना के दो, वॉक थ्रू भी बना के दो, इसके अंदर ये भी करके दो, दिस ऑल थिंग्स वो वांट. तो उसमें क्या डिमांड बढ़ती जाएगी. शुरू के अंदर आपने अगर ब्रेक लगा दिया तो फिर उसकी डिमांड आपकी चलेगी, उसकी नहीं चलेगी, क्योंकि आप क्या अदर वे अराउंड हो गए. तो ये थोड़ा साइकोलॉजी का समझना पड़ेगा. किसी चीज की क्लाइंट की साइकोलॉजी जो है वो आपको अभी समझ. क्लाइंट आप ये बिल्कुल मत डरो कि मेरा प्रोजेक्ट चला जाएगा. अगर डरते डरते करोगे तो पक्का चला जाएगा. आप अपने आप पे भरोसा रखो कि नहीं जाएगा तो फिर वो वापस आएगा, लौट के आएगा, वो बैक डोर से फिर आएगा. कई बार मैंने देखा, मेरे से जला दिया, मैं जाओ घूम ले, पूरे मार्केट में घूम घाम के वापस आ गया, क्योंकि पूरी जगह गया देखा. अब सब जगह पे अलग अलग बिहेव है, लेकिन जो मेरा तक नहीं. आपका बात बिल्कुल सही लगी, आपने बिल्कुल स्ट्रिक्ट स्पष्ट आपने बोल दिया. आपने वॉट एवर यू से वेरी क्लियरली, तो आपकी क्लियरिटी हमको बहुत अच्छी लगी, तो हम आपके पास आ गए. भले आपकी जो भी बात हो, वो चीजें ऐसी होती है कि दैट्स क्लियरिटी. आपको अपने ऊपर कॉन्फिडेंस होगा तब क्लाइंट को आप पे कॉन्फिडेंस होगा. अब आप अपने आप पे कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं कर रहे हैं तो क्लाइंट आप पे कैसे करेगा. करेगा ही नहीं. वो आर्किटेक्चर नहीं जानता है. क्लाइंट नेवर नो आर्किटेक्चर. वो आर्किटेक्चर में कुछ भी नहीं जानता, लेकिन वो आपके कॉन्फिडेंस को जानता है. जैसे किसी डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं तो किसी का इलाज कराने के साथ ये मेरा ये प्रॉब्लम है, वो अब डॉक्टर किस तरह से बिहेव करता है उससे आप मानते हो कि नहीं इससे मेरा इलाज हो जाएगा. अगर डॉक्टर ही उसमें डाउटफुल रहेगा कि नहीं चाहे वैसे वैसे उसमें, फिर बाद में तो फिर कुछ होना ही नहीं ना. वो चीज आपको देखनी पड़ेगी. शुरू में मैं मानता हूँ कि स्ट्रगलिंग टाइम में इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, लेकिन इट्स सम इन ड्यू कोर्स ऑफ टाइम आप यू अंडरस्टैंड, आप धीरे धीरे क्लाइंट की साइकोलॉजी समझना चालू कर दी, एंड इट विल हैपन.
So this is working. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if I'm adding to your woes or, but I met a few years ago. We met one of my husband's students, Pranedeep's students, and he kind of narrated a very interesting incident. He had gone back to his the small city where he comes from, and he was developing his practice. And so he told us an interesting incident where he would do these little things, like if a client comes to him and he would like to do the project, he would say, this much would be my fees and this is the way I would work. But if you grow these trees and if you water harvest, I will give you this much discount. So, the client felt that, all right, this is something that, is to be understood. So what I mean to say is probably you need to be also smart. Don't keep thinking that, just because you're a young architect it's not going to work. I mean, we all went through the rigors, whether it was during our time or even presently. But I think the situation now is that you all perhaps are in a hurry. There's a lot of peer pressure, and you all do not have the, patience to allow your work to speak. I think that is what Manishji is trying to tell you, that assessing the person whom you're going to work for is equally important. May not be in so blatant a way that I will, not work for you or whatever, but there will be little qualities about the person you're talking to in front who may be your potential client that you may like or you may not like, but don't sell your soul just to get that project. I mean, we have a profession of dignity, so I think we need to uphold that right from the start.
है ना. मैं बिल्कुल एग्री करता हूँ मनीष से. मेरे से भी क्लाइंट आते हैं, फिर वो घूम घाम के, लेकिन मेरे पास वापस नहीं आते. So the point that I'm trying to make is, और मेरे मुंह से जो मैं बोलने वाला हूँ मेरे मुंह से शोभा नहीं देती, क्योंकि मैं सेकंड जनरेशन आर्किटेक्ट हूँ. जो 4 आर्किटेक्ट पहले थे राजस्थान में, आई एम सन ऑफ Mrs. Rashmi Gupta. So but what I can advise you or say is that imagine कि आप किस टाइप के आर्किटेक्ट बनना चाहते हो. Like what is the kind of work you want to really do, and you do that, you stand for that. So that would be my only 2 cents. वो काम करो और 10 छोड़ दो, अगर वो 10 वो नहीं है जो आप नहीं करना चाहते. but don't do that just for the money. And even if you do that just for the money, to no problem. You need to survive also, but like be conscious ki jana kahan hai. What is the kind of, don't make excuses 10 years, 20 years later कि market ऐसा है, market में तो ये नहीं होता, वो नहीं होता, ऐसा करना ही पड़ता है, compromise करना पड़ता है. That is not true. You can stand your ground. It, as Sami says, it takes time. More questions?
Questions that we can ask. Are there some particular or intentional questions that we can ask to assess our clients, especially when you are young architect and you don't have a lot of experience with the people, like what intentions they are coming to us? So, I mean,
So I'll put that to Amit. Amit ko bolna bada, like you really have to get things out of you.
No, I'm not a student of psychology. Manish seems to be. But I think in our practice, we are pretty transparent upfront. With any project that we take up, the budgetary expectation that we have, we put it on the table first meeting. And the aesthetic expectation of the client, we need to understand in the first meeting. If I think we make these two ends meet, then only we take up that project, otherwise not.
Just a little. So when somebody comes to me, I mean to us, and I'm not sure how they have come to us. So obviously, if there's a reference, then you kind of, put two and two together and say, all right, there is a connection. So the few of them who say through Google, I never encourage them. So
Samir, you want to come in?
Done. Now we are done.
So I think we should not, test the endurance of the audience. So I think you have been a wonderful audience, enduring hunger and thirst. तो नहीं endure कर रहे. So thank you very much, and I really, it was a wonderfully. Thank you to Indian Architect and Architect and Interiors India for curating this very diverse panel. I think we had a very nice diversity in the opinions and the point of views of everybody, and I think it was very, very refreshing for me to be part of this, and it's a real privilege for me to moderate the five of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dhruv. It was our pleasure to have you moderate the panel. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming and being a part of the panel. I request you all to stay back. I would like to invite Mr. Saket Sadhu, Sales Director and Business Lead Zone 4 from Dorma Kaba, and Mr. Saeed Ishtiaq, General Manager from Howell, India, to please come on stage and felicitate the panel. So I request Architect Shamini Shankar Jain, co-founder SS plus PD Architects, to please come forward. Can we please have a huge round of applause? Architect Amit Yellow, partner ELC Design Jaipur. Architect Gaurav Mohan Mathur, Managing Director, GM Architect. Architect Manish Jain, Principal Architect, Front Desk Architect. Architect Samir Virchin, founder, Virchin's Design Private Limited. And last but not the least, our most interesting curator and moderator, Architect Dhruv Gupta, founder, Dhruv Design. Thank you so much. And that wraps up the Design Debate Jaipur edition. And what a joy has it been. You've been an absolutely wonderful audience, and I thank you for your patience. From me and the entire team of IGP Media, I'd like to thank our sponsors, title partner Hovel India, category partner Dorma Kaba and Jindal Panther, exhibit partner Duroply, and HVAC partner Blue Star India. Thank you all for your support. And of course, I'd like to thank our esteemed guests, our very dear guest of honor, our fantastic moderators of both the panels, and all the panel speakers for taking time and making this evening a phenomenal success. We truly enjoyed to be able to pick up your brain. And you've been a lovely audience, Jaipur. Hope to see you again. Thank you so much.